I think we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All those joining live, those watching in the future. This is our kind of new monthly channel update, discussion, Q&A. We want to do this on the channel. I've tried this before. I've done it like once here or once there when we hit certain subscriber counts. And then I was like, yeah, I'll do this more often. And then I just never did. Yeah, these kinds of things are something I like. If I'm not forced to kind of do it, I won't do it, but I should do it. So it's something that Elizabeth in the chat, she's who I think of every time I think of this Saturday morning hangout. So this stream is like, I don't want it to be called the channel update, the live Q&A, the discussion, all that's so boring. So
And generic.
Yeah, very generic. So if you guys can think of a cool name, leave it in the chat. Mel will take notes or drop it in the comments below if you're watching later. Any kind of something that kind of like lets you know it's kind of like I can put in the thumbnail like this is an update and a Q&A, whatever. But I would like to have a title to it or something. Something you just know and you look forward to. Something we'll always do. We basically hit a Patreon goal. We put this as like one of our Patreon goals to celebrate hitting that goal. We would do this kind of monthly Q&A thing. And Elizabeth and other people, there are others who asked this over the last few years, have always come into chat and ask questions or just want to chat about something off topic or anything like that in like a live stream format. And I like doing that. I always at the end of my streams usually, especially long playthrough streams, like at the end of like 7th Continent, for example, if I'm sitting there playing for like 6 hours, I'll sit and chat after for like 30 minutes, especially when I complete a series, start asking the chat like what other games, what expansions, all this kind of stuff. But it's off topic. And I know people watching the videos later or even live, they do not want to hear about any of this off topic junk. They don't care. I love chatting about random stuff, like we're meeting up at a convention and we just talk about whatever. So that's what these are going to be. So we're going to do this at least once a month, where we're going to get together on like a Saturday, maybe a Sunday. We'll just get together midday our time. So we'll try to hit all the usual time zones, kind of do it when we usually would kind of stream on a Saturday, so around noon. We'll just pick a weekend, we'll schedule it, we'll do it, and we'll just give like a quick update. We'll discuss stuff. You guys can drop things in the chat. We'll just chat. We'll let the chat drive it at some point. We'll answer questions later in the chat. So if you're thinking of any questions, get them in your mind now. Think about them. Take your time. We're going to go through like a little channel update, some notes that we've made, and then we'll answer some questions and we'll just discuss stuff. And you guys can ask whatever. We'll stream this for, I would assume, at least an hour, probably 2. We'll see how it's going. But we'll do like max 2 hours because I don't want this to be that long. I assume not a lot of people will watch this later and that kind of thing. So we'll just hang out for a couple hours here, just do a chat about anything. So all those kind of questions that come up in chats that sometimes I ignore them, sometimes I just answer them very quickly, or I say I'm not going to answer that right now because it's not related to what's going on. Like we might be in the middle of like a Mage Knight stream or something, and like somebody wants to know, hey Rob, what's some other solo games you like? And I'm not going to stop and go, all right, hold on. And I do sometimes stop and do this. I do sometimes go, yeah, I get just off track. I just want to talk. I'm fine with it. But I figured I'll save that stuff for this now. So when someone comes in and asks a question not related to a stream that's going to go off in a long tangent, I'll just kind of like tell you, come join our monthly updates and ask there or throw your question in there. So yeah. And what it will do is, if you have any questions, you're watching this in the future, after this was live, drop questions down below in the comments, and we'll try to gather those. And if they're still relevant, like if they're not very time specific, like, Rob, I want to back this Kickstarter that ends tomorrow. I want your thoughts. Like, I'll grab those questions and we'll answer some of them in the next stream when we get going. So we'll create like a monthly kind of like dialogue follow up, and that's what this is. So that's my long-winded way of explaining what this video kind of is and why we're doing it. So other things we want to talk about. We reached a Patreon goal, and recently we just reached it yesterday, I think, or the day before.
Thursday.
Another one. I'm just kidding. All right, so we reached another Patreon goal. This one is to create a video of the top games we like to play together as a couple, I guess, or just Mel and I like to play. You can call it couples games, but they might be games that we play with other players too, that we just love to play and play together.
Yeah.
It could be games we like to fight it out and see who's sleeping on the couch that night. It could be games we like working together and taking down a boss at the end or solving some puzzles. I don't know. Who knows?
Yep.
But we'll now start working that up, putting notes down, come up with games from our collection or games we've played that we even don't own. And we're going to put those all down on a list, and then we'll do the whole like, all right, honey, let's rank it and let's give them points, and kind of like, it'll take some work, but we'll come up with a top 5 or top 10 or something. and we'll make that list. So look for that in the next week or two, probably. The next thing, our next goal actually on Patreon, if you're interested in goals, you're watching this in the future, we're going to add more goals. We'd like to hear more goals. So if you guys have any ideas of things you'd like to see on the channel, let us know, and we'll add those as Patreon goals. When we hit them, we'll add it to the channel. It'll be something we do going forward. But the next one is Mel. This has been talked about in past streams. Again, like kind of like an off-topic thing as we're playing a game. Somebody will mention, oh, I like those minis the way they're painted. And Mel paints most of our minis now. She paints all of them, basically, now. She started doing it as a hobby. We bought her some paints, some brushes. She's really having fun with it. She's watching YouTube videos and reading up on techniques and trying to do it her own way, but also get some pointers.
Yeah.
But it's been asked, why doesn't Mel do a streaming video? And it's something that she will do, and we added it as a goal. So our next Patreon goal, when we hit it, Mel's going to start doing like a once a month, maybe more or maybe less.
I think it'll depend on...
Yeah, we'll see how many people actually like it.
And yeah, if you guys like it, then we can do more.
But when we hit our next goal, Mel will start doing that as like kind of a regular thing on the channel. We'll probably schedule one this week. We're going to just figure out which night.
Yep.
But we'll schedule one this week and just kind of try it out. I from a technology perspective, I don't know how to film someone painting minis and get that looking nice on stream. So we'll try like a test one this week and see how it goes.
Yeah.
And then when we hit that goal, we'll make it a regular thing. So if you guys like it, then, you know, we'll do it. If not, we could change that goal too. If it's like 2 people show up and it's like, this is a mess and it's not working and you don't like doing it.
Yeah.
Then we'll just we'll change the goal. We'll just do something different. It's no big deal. But
yeah, because I'm definitely not a pro by any means. I'm amateur
it'll
newbie
be fun,
painter.
though. It'll be fun.
But I have fun with it, so I like it.
Oh, Matt's got an idea in the chat for a goal. Rob wears a chicken suit.
Okay, noted.
Yeah, put that down. Put that down. We got buy chicken suit. Dear Amazon, I would like to buy a chicken suit.
Like for one stream or just in general?
Every time Mel beats me in a game, I have to stream a solo game wearing a chicken suit after. Could turn this into like a reality TV show.
Oh, that's awesome.
So what else we got? All right. Next thing is updates on past videos. That's what I've put here as my note. So I did this week a previous goal we hit was for me to make a top 10 solo games. It's like I think my most asked question over the last year, where people just drop in a chat or a comment or a message or whatever in the background. I get messages all the time going, Rob, what solo games do you like? I want to know your best ones. Give me your top 5. Give me your top 3. Give me your top 10. What other solo games do you like? I get those questions all the time. I try to answer them here and there with like, oh, I like this one better than that one or whatever. But I knew I was going to make a top 10 solo list. So I added that as a Patreon goal. We reached it. I then had a whole bunch of games that I got recently that I wanted to play solo. So I said, I'll wait on making that list. I played a few of them. I didn't get to all of them. So I decided to put together my list of 32 or 33 games, I think it was total. Final retail games. I didn't include prototypes in there. But I put together my list, posted that video this week, and thank you everyone who's watched that and left comments and let me know your top solo games and that kind of stuff. If you have any solo games that are not in that top list, feel free to drop them in the comments on that video. I'm going to go through that after next time I go to kind of place a board game order, and I want to kind of get some more good solo games in my collection. The only one I can think of right now that's like my high one that I really want to get in my collection and played at some point this year is the Gaia Project. That one, I know John B brought that to my attention, but then others have since then told me it's good, you should look into it and stuff like that. I did a little bit of research on it. Something I'm interested in, so I'm going to try to get that from a local store on a board game order in either September or October. We'll just see how funds and financials and stuff line up for that stuff. It's not the cheapest game.
That's not only solo, is it?
No, it's not only solo.
Okay.
I don't think so, but it is always talked about as like a really great solo game.
Okay.
Yeah. But in Canadian, it's like $110 or something like that.
Yeah,
so it's like a beast of a game, and it's like, do I get a game that I may or may not like? I don't know, but we'll see. I should be able to get it. And Heather says, the top 10 you just did. Yeah, that's the top 10 solo games. Yep. She loves the format I used.
Yep.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do those kind of videos, and I've done them in the past, like a long time ago when I had like less good equipment and lighting and stuff, where I've just sat in front of my board game shelf. But like so many other channels do that, so it's like something I was like, I want to do something different. But every now and then I'm going to do that, just clean up the board game shelf, kind of sit in front of it and have some fun with some of my cameras and lights and mics and stuff, and just try different things. But I'm going to start doing that more, so every time I do like a top list or I'm gonna do some kind of like little Rob's rants videos or something. I don't know. I've always had these ideas, but I'm gonna start actually like, yeah, let's get them done. Let's do them. Let's fit them in there. But yeah, let's see. So other things on the channel that happened recently. Those who didn't know, who are avoiding spoilers or are new to the channel, we finished our last big series we did was Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion. We finished playing through the whole game of that. There's a couple scenarios obviously we didn't do. We got kind of like branching path locked out of them. We may go back and play in the future. I don't know. We'll see. But I just wanted to highlight that for those who didn't know. We played through all of Jaws of the Lion, but we will do another series coming up. Most likely it's Aftermath at this point. We mentioned it before, but Mel wanted to paint all the minis, so that delayed that. So that's coming to the channel.
But I'm done that now.
You are?
I just have to do a final wash on a few of them. But that'll be done today.
Okay, cool.
So
yeah, watch for Aftermath. Those who like watching our playthrough series where we play through an entire game, a campaign or legacy or whatever, we're going to be playing through Aftermath by Plaid Hat Games is our next one. So watch for that soon. I want to follow up, I said I would, from the Massive Darkness 2 Kickstarter stream. I did one of those streams where we talked about the Kickstarter when it launched and kind of looked at it and went over some details. And I kind of prepared a little bit on that one and kind of wanted to do a State of the Union for Rob's hunt for cool dungeon crawling games. So I brought up like positives and negatives to like backing or not backing and why I would spend money on Massive Darkness, why I wouldn't. I discussed that all in that video. I got a bit of hate, a bit of love. A lot of people, more people were saying they're passing on it. That is definitely was a big thing. But there were some strong voices in there kind of saying that I was maybe talking too negative about Massive Darkness and that, but I was trying to be as realist as possible, not get distracted by the shiny minis and the cool art and stuff. But just being real with like, I don't have unlimited funds and I have to make hard decisions. If I could have every board game, I would have them all, but I don't. So I have to make tough choices on what I get, what I spend my time learning, what I then play on the channel, and will you guys watch it? Will I have fun playing it? Will Mel like it? Will our other game group like it?
Yeah.
I have to decide these things. So my follow-up to that, I said I would decide later before the campaign was over if I'm backing it or not, and the answer is no. The answer is no. The only thing I was going to do, my local game store just popped up a pre-order, like a retailer pledge, like I talked about in the video, and it was like 192 Canadian, but all it was the pledge with the campaign expansion and just the stretch goals. But since then, they've added on a whole bunch of add-ons to that campaign, and half of them I want. So I can't do that if I go through my local game store. I have to do my own pledge. And then I get to the same problem I've had with most Kickstarters, is I want all these things when I see them. Then a year and a half, 2 years later, when I actually get the game or open it and start playing it, I realize it's too much stuff and I'll never get through it all, and I already have other games I'd rather play and that kind of thing. So I'm going to pass on it for now, but what I'll do is when it actually comes out in stores a year and a half or 2 years from now, I'll probably pick it up at retail, pick up the base box and the campaign expansion then, if it still holds its weight against a lot of the other games I mentioned in that stream coming out, like Descent 3rd edition or whatever it is, and we'll have Oathsworn by then, all these other games, Frosthaven, like if we're playing all those games and still have those kind of games to happen and play, and there's other games like that have come out on Kickstarter in the meantime before Massive Darkness 2 comes, I'll be very sad if I back Massive Darkness and the next day some other big game hit Kickstarter that I'd rather have spent that money on. So I'm going to pass on it now. I might pick it up at retail, but that's my final kind of decision on that. It's just the cost versus the value. I may play through it a few times on the channel. I may play through it a few times not on the channel. But is that worth like 300 Canadian after shipping is considered and add-ons I want to buy and all this stuff? I don't think so. I'll probably spend 100 to 150 Canadian on it, get the campaign expansion, we'll play through that 10 scenario campaign, call it a day. I do want to play it. It looks fun.
Yeah.
It looks fun, and I know some of my group might like it. But I
know I'll like it.
I just don't want to invest that money in a game right now that I might not see for a year and a half to 2 years.
Yeah.
That seems silly. Like, who knows what the board game industry is going to look like at that point, right? So who knows what other awesome games we'll have access to at that point. So
that's very true.
That is my final statement there on Massive Darkness. Anyone who missed it, yesterday Chip Theory Games did a product announcement. Some people thought it was going to be a game. I thought at first when I scheduled my stream it might be a new game announcement. This is crazy. It's UK Games Expo this weekend. It's live. They're doing kind of an online convention thing. And Chip Theory announced a new product. It's cool, but it definitely, the hype level, it's just play mats and desktop mats and game size play mats, but using all Anthony Letourneau's art from Chip Theory. So you'll get Too Many Bones art, Cloudspire art, Hoplomachus Victorium art,
Yeah, the art on the mats are beautiful.
Looks beautiful. They're
Yeah.
high quality. The price is right.
Yep.
They're awesome. Go check out their store, chiptheorygames.com, and hit up the accessories section. They added the first wave of them there. It's going to be kind of like limited print runs, but they'll keep stocking them as people buy them. So it's not like limited edition where you sell 100 and they're gone. They've already ordered their print run of them. So if you want in on the first kind of print run of them, they're going to add more designs later. That was cool. We did that stream yesterday live as they announced it. It was fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was hoping for something crazier, like a chip sorter or a crazy dice tower or something they would come up with. But no, it's just playmats, and it's neoprene. It's not a shock when Chip Theory comes out with a product made of neoprene. I was like, oh, that's it. But it still looked awesome. They were beautiful.
Yeah.
But we did that yesterday. If you want to find out more information, the stream was posted yesterday. We did that.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yes. All right. I want to mention Joseph over at Board Games with Nirmas. You guys will see him come in our chats every now and then. He comes and hangs out here in some of our streams, watches some of our videos on the channel. He is a fellow board game YouTuber. He's been doing it for a few years. I think around half the time I've been doing it, but he's been around for a bit. I've been watching his videos and we've been chatting and stuff. But he's reaching 5K subscribers soon. So he reached out to me and said he's going to plan a celebration and he would like, he'd like me to help him out with a video or something. So I said, what do you want to do? I'll help you out, no problem. You're an awesome dude. Let's do it. So I joined him yesterday. We recorded a top 5 adventure games list. 5 because he's celebrating 5K. So I did that with him yesterday. I sent him the footage. He's going to put that together and post it on the channel for his 5K celebration weekend. But right now he's at like 4.94K.
9.5.
9.5 now? Mm-hmm. Ooh. Okay, so today I posted on social media and in our Discord and on YouTube to see if anybody in my audience who maybe doesn't know about Joseph over at Board Games Near Moss and his pet dragon Draco, go over and subscribe to his channel. Let's get him to 5K quicker than he expects. So we'll put some pressure on him to get that video edited and posted online. So he's very nice, very fun. He's been a supporter of our channel for a long time. So I'd like to show him a little love. So if you don't know about Board Games with Nirmas, I put a link in the description below. He did record other videos with some other YouTube channels in the board game content creation kind of area. So he's going to try to post those all throughout a weekend, and he's going to do like live stream celebration kind of thing. So I'm curious to see what else he's got planned. So go subscribe to his channel and let's get him to 5K. And then I can complain going, where's that video we filmed? Let's go with it. So I sent him that footage this morning. So let's see how quickly he can get it together. But yeah, so that's that. What else here? I want to talk about games that are coming up to the channel or that we've pre-ordered or are on board game orders or maybe have entered our collection recently. I want to kind of have this as like a section. I don't know what I'm going to call this stuff. I'm going to make this more organized and like, we'll have titles and sections of the stream going forward, but we just kind of put together notes this week of like, what should we even talk about at the start of this thing? So upcoming games and things that we've ordered. We have Skytear. Was sent to us by the publisher. Mel's going to start painting that, so maybe that's something she'll be painting on the stream,
Yes.
the test stream this week.
I think we'll do that.
It is another tower defense MOBA-inspired game, like Cloudspire was inspired, same inspired stuff, but it's a shorter skirmish miniature game, like a League of Legends or Dota kind of game. Where I saw it was actually on Team Covenant, was streaming it and covering it and painting it and that kind of stuff, and it looked interesting to me. But the publisher reached out and I looked into it and. I like Cloudspire so much, and I like skirmish kind of games, and Mel started painting miniatures, so I was like, all right, we can do this. So that's coming to the channel. We'll play that through some of that on the channel in the future. Like I mentioned Aftermath already, we ordered Lord of the Rings: The Shadowed Paths.
Yep, we get that question quite a bit.
Yep, so that will come to the channel. We'll play through that, and in October when it comes out with the next little mini expansion, the next playthrough for Lord of the Rings: Journeys to Middle Earth, we'll play through that, just like we played through the last ones.
Yep.
We pre-ordered, I think on that same order, was Marvel Champions: The Red Skull campaign expansion.
Yes.
So whenever that comes out, I think that's the thing kind of holding up that order. Because we usually put an order together with a bunch of games to get like the free shipping from our local game stores. Which they're like an hour away. Yes, I could go pick up the games and all that. But it's still an hour away.
But then you have to go out.
Yeah, I basically have to spend half a day driving there, going and picking the stuff up, driving back, all that. So I basically like putting in big orders and just getting free shipping, and when they come, they come. But they wait till the last pre-order kind of comes in. So I put it on the same order with that. They didn't have Shadowed Paths in at the time, so that is back in stock now, but it won't ship to us till the Marvel Champions expansion comes out.
Right.
We backed Oathsworn recently, but that won't come to us till sometime next year. But just want to let you guys know, Oathsworn is coming to the channel. Root Digital, I've played it. It's awesome. It's a very good digital implementation. I'll be streaming that this upcoming week, so watch for that. There's a game called Too Many Bones? Too Many Bones? I don't know what this game is, but anyways, there's some kind of Spleece and Dice and Dart and Lub Rats, or I don't know what these things are. I never heard of them. Anyways, I'm going to be ordering these things when they're coming in stock in Canada. If you go look at any of these products on chiptheorygames.com website, they are in stock for everybody, except the Canada line says out of stock, and it's been that way. I can't even pre-order it. It's like out of stock. Like I can't even add it to a cart or anything. Super annoying. So I've added notifications. I bugged Shannon about it, saying, what the heck, man? Why no Canadian love? And I see a lot of people are asking almost every week in their Discord. I see constant questions. And in their live stream yesterday, it kept getting asked. But they said within a couple weeks. So it's shipping here from the US. They'll have a mass stock of a bunch of their products. And I'll place my order then. So that could happen late August, early September. I don't know. We'll see. So yes, I will be getting Spleece and Dice, Dart, and Lab Rats on the channel. So yes, I will purchase that. As soon as it comes in, I'm jumping on the website and placing orders right away. And hopefully we don't miss out because too many people ordered the stock. Hopefully it's a lot of stock, I hope.
Yeah, hopefully.
But yeah, I'll be ordering all those products. Whenever we get them, I'll start reading the rules and we'll get them on the channel ASAP. In solo and multiplayer playthroughs, we'll try all the little side mini game stuff in Spleece and Dice. So we'll get that on the channel eventually. I've been looking forward to it.
It'll be a quick vacation to the U.S. Unfortunately, we cannot.
We can't cross the border. Don't get me started. I could have done, like, I guess, package forwarding, but that all costs extra and will take delays coming from the U.S. U.S. shipping to Canada right now is horrible unless you use FedEx. The other thing is the border is closed to us in Canada, so I would drive down or meet Rory. Rory could take the boat, but I don't want us getting shot on the water.
Yeah, we might get in trouble.
Yeah, I don't need us getting shot on the water in the middle of the night by the Coast Guard.
What package did he just pass you across the water?
It weighs a ton. The boat's like kind of sinking because you're trying to pass me Chip Theory stuff, so it weighs too much for your boat. But yeah, that'll come to the channel soon, so stay tuned for that. I don't know how long the shipping is going to take either, so it could show up on the channel in October at the latest, I would assume. But yes, I get asked about that all the time.
Yeah.
And it's like, I should have just ordered it right away, but I was under the assumption it was going to be sent to me, and it didn't, so whatever. I'm not upset about that or anything. I just wish I knew so I could have pre-ordered it. I missed the Kickstarter on it, so that was already... I came into the thing after that was already a thing. Came into Chip Theory Games after that Kickstarter happened. All right. Videos and streams. Yes. Okay. If there's any video types or streams you'd like to see on the channel or any kind of weird format or something, or a stream like this, anything, leave it in the comments, leave it in the chat, let us know. Shoot it in our Discord if you're over there. Let us know anything you want to see. What we'll do is we'll look at those things, we'll compile them. So if you ever have an idea, drop it on any of these monthly things in the comments or let us know in the chat. Mel will make a note and we'll kind of put these as like either Patreon goals or we'll just do them. If there's something I'm not like... If you guys like something or interested in something and I can make it happen, like I'll try my best to try to put something together where we can do some different things on the channel. We'll still do playthroughs, obviously. I'm doing that all the time. I'll continue to do that. But if there's any kind of like monthly kind of video or something you'd like to see, or any ideas of things you'd like to have changed on the channel, let us know. I'm open to ideas. Also, what helps too, on any videos you watch, it really does help. I do go look through it, and I notice it when I'm scrolling through the back end and uploading videos and stuff. I see how many likes we get on videos. So if you like a certain game, I obviously look at watch minutes and views and stuff, and that helps me know like what you guys are watching and gets us focused on certain game types or continuing playthroughs quickly and that kind of thing based on who's watching what. But also likes. Certain videos we'll just see. YouTube will let us know in the back end when a video is getting a ton of likes more than usual. I see that. So if there's certain games you like, just hit that like button. It helps other people find them, for one. It helps me know you guys like them beyond... Like, a view is not necessarily something that makes me think you guys want to watch it. It's actually watch minutes. Because if you just click a video, you might be like, oh, the thumbnail, or I'm interested in that, what is it? You're curious. You click it, watch 30 seconds, and you're like, not for me, and you're out. That's not something I want to film more of if all the people are doing that. But if you're sitting there watching more of it, I see the watch minutes. But if you really like it, hit that like button. If you don't like a game, if you're like, Rob, I don't want to see this on your channel, Hit that dislike button too. I have no problem with that. I see some people dislike certain videos, and then some videos get no dislikes. So I assume it's a fan or a few fans of those videos that don't get dislikes that's going and disliking other videos. I think it's funny.
Which is fine. That's a metric that we can use.
It's go nuts. I don't care. Hit that dislike button if there's any kind of video you're like, Rob, stop wasting your time on this game. It's trash. Or I don't like this video. I don't like this game. I want you to play more of something else. Go hit the like button on the things you want to see more of. Hit the dislike button on things you don't want to see. Go crazy.
Yeah, because we're using it as you didn't like that video, not you didn't like us.
Well,
so
if you don't like us, I assume you wouldn't have watched beyond one video on the channel, and you wouldn't even subscribe and you'd be gone. So whatever. But that's something I wanted to mention. So some upcoming streams this week. I just want to highlight these, then we'll get into our question and answer session, discussion, and everything with you guys. So Hostage Negotiator streams, I'm going to do at least a couple of them this week, try to get through some of those abductor packs so we can get to the career campaign. And that's a solo only game. I'll be playing that in the daytime, my time, doing some streams of that. So one's already scheduled for Monday, so I'll do a bunch of those this week. We'll be playing Root again on Thursday night. We'll have Justin and Kyle back. We're going to play through Root. We played it last night at another friend's house, taught some players, tried some new factions. So we might be trying some Riverfolk stuff on the stream this week. Mel and I got to play the Lizard Folk and the Lizard Cult and Riverfolk Company last night. They were fun. We suck with them, but we'll get better and we'll play this Thursday. So watch for more Root on the channel. And if you missed the Root stream last Thursday, that's there already. And then we'd already talked about Mel's painting test stream. Other than that, we'll see. There'll be other things pop up, but that's just stuff that I know is happening.
Related to the painting stream, Bernardo's asking, please share what you need for painting before your stream. Are you talking where we need to reach on the goal or what I need to do on our end? What you need for painting before your stream?
Who's saying this?
Bernardo.
This is Bernardo's question. I don't know why there's no picture there, but please share what you need for painting before your stream.
So I think he's asking, oh, there it is. I think he was asking for...
Oh, he's going to follow along with painting.
Oh, I see. Okay, thank you. Okay.
I don't know. Is that what we're going to do? I don't know. Is that what we're going to do? I thought it would just be Mel's hanging out, chatting with you guys, watching. You guys give her tips. She tells you how she's doing it and what she's painting. Because I don't know. We're using, what's the paint brand? The main one that we have.
Army Painter.
Army Painter?
Yeah. Army Painter paints.
But I don't know. Like, people are going to have, there's so many different brands of paints, different type of brushes. You could talk about all that on the stream.
Yeah. Because we did...
And with the mini types. So she's going to paint something from... Skytear. But like what from Skytear? And we don't know how long it's going to take. So she might only get through like painting one mini. Maybe she'll paint a whole faction. I don't even know.
So I guess you could...
We'll try the first one, Bernardo. Come along and watch, and like we'll discuss that during the stream and see. Like we're like noobs to this. Like I don't know painting on a stream. I'm so like no idea. We've watched a few videos. Even Mel attended at Gen Con online. Yep. She attended some like
3 or 4 different
some sessions, some courses, and was watching people talk about painting on YouTube and painting miniatures and how to live stream paint and all this kind of stuff. So we were watching some of that. We have ideas, but like following along. I don't know if Mel's there yet with
like I'm not a teacher.
Yeah. She's still learning.
I mean, yeah, but I could definitely show you what I'm using for sure.
Bob Ross stream.
Oh my gosh.
Not sure the Bob Ross stream method would work. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, it would be hard
because there.
No, I'm not there, and we would all have to have the same mini to paint or whatever. So I don't think it's more of like a teaching. I think it's just I'm gonna paint. We're gonna chat. You guys can even tell me because I know some of you guys have painted much longer. I know John B, for example, has been painting since the 70s. So like give me your tips because I need them.
It. Or if you're new, ask Mel like, what the heck are you doing?
And some of it I don't even know. I'm just doing it.
What the heck is this dry brush thing you just mentioned? What is this?
That's the thing I'm working on.
Yeah, like, Mel will learn in the meantime how to paint happy little trees and beautiful mountains. And she'll do a Bob Ross stream in the future. No, I'm just joking. But
I should one time. I did do one of those paint nights, and I'm actually proud of the painting that I did. I'll put it up one time for one of our streams. Maybe I'll put it in the background of like our painting stream or something.
Janice saying, let's see here. Mel, she's saying, Mel, if you watch Tabletop Minions, he does a great job of painting, especially multiples of the same mini. So like
but I'm gonna
the
write
mass
that down.
painting, thing. But yeah, make a note of that. Yeah, Mel's making notes if you guys have anything that you want to.
Okay.
Oh, Alan says he has Army Painter's range of paints. Just need to buy Skytear.
Oh my gosh, no.
There are Skytear painting videos. I've already watched a couple of them because I was curious, like, how good these would look if they're painted when I was researching the game. So there are videos of people painting the factions and stuff, which are neat, but they're using like airbrushes and stuff, and that's like, we don't have airbrushes.
No.
We bought that like big pack of like Army Painter, I don't know how many, 50 different
50.
paints were in that. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But we bought that to Mel to have all different colors. I didn't want to chase around little like, buy this color paint from this company and this color paint's good from this. I didn't want to do that. I was just like, let's just buy a whole bunch of paints and we'll start there. Well, Dragon's got a new hashtag. Let's see if we can get on the Mel made me buy it to paint.
That's awesome. But what I can do, again, the one that we'll do this week will be just a test, and we'll kind of go through it. So it's not going to be anything formal or structured. It'll just be, but I can show you what I have and what colors I use. And I can show you a few things even. I can show a few examples of what I painted from the Aftermath that I just finished, some of my ones I'm more proud of. And I can show you what colors I used for them. And some of them I made up colors. So I'm also still experimenting with the whole wet palette versus dry palette and what I like better. So
yep. So if you want to hear more of Mel's thoughts on painting and her experience coming from newbie painting not too long ago to getting
like
paints, what she uses, experiences. Yeah, she hasn't painted that many things, but we can show off some of what she has painted. And maybe if there's something she's not happy with, if you guys have techniques, you can kind of comment like, oh, like what happened in one of our playthrough streams, I was showing off minis and people were like, oh, that one needs a wash and this one needs dry brushing. And it's like, oh, I didn't know that could be done or that was needed. So we're open to feedback. So just come and hang out with us. We'll do a stream. I'll run the stream while Mel just kind of hangs out and you guys can chill with her and talk about paints and stuff. I'm interested in it too. I just have shaky hands and I suck at it. I like to do it. I've done it before, but I'm no good at it at all. But it's still fun to like learn and experiment with things. Yeah,
and I think he's gonna also help with the whole
the chat
and behind the scenes because I'm probably gonna have I'm gonna have my head down, but we're gonna start and see where it goes.
Yeah, so Bernardo or newbies too. So come on and hang out. It'll be a noob hangout stream. No worries.
We'll make sure it's specified that I'm not a pro by any means. I would like to get there eventually. Some of the streamers that I watch and the painting minis the minis that they've painted, I am blown away at how amazing they look.
Okay,
sorry. So we can get on to questions.
So we're getting in trouble for all the things we make people buy.
Oh yes, I see that in the Discord too.
Horrible people we are. We convince you into buying good things. Yeah, but it's all fun.
That's awesome.
We got Robert to buy Jaws of the Lion, which, yes, if you're interested in Gloomhaven at all and you've never tried it, go grab Jaws of the Lion. That's the best way to start Gloomhaven. I will say it over and over again. That was a beautiful little product. Tons of game in that box. And just enough Gloomhaven to give you a good feel of the overall Gloomhaven world. I love it. But anyways.
You guys have mind control.
Yes.
Okay, so I know we probably missed a whole bunch of questions while we were going through the whole update.
Let's look. Okay, so we'll go to the question and answer section.
Yeah.
So if you have a question you're curious about, drop it in the chat. We'll have some discussion on things and topics if it's just a topic you're curious about. But I'm going to go look back. There were some questions asked earlier. I know Jim dropped one in right at the start. I don't know if you're still here, Jim, but we had... Jim asked, Rob and Mel, what is your favorite co-op game? And I thought about it for a second. I still couldn't figure it out, but co-op?
So I think I can answer then while you're waiting. I kind of have two that are very, very close, and they're very similar, which I think is why they're so close. And I think my favorite-ish would be Mansions of Madness. I love Mansions of Madness, and I love the Lord of the Rings, Journeys to Middle-earth as well.
I love the Lord of the Rings, Journeys to Middle-earth. I like Mansions of Madness, but I like Journey better. But I would think like Too Many Bones probably would be my like go-to. I love teaching new players and trying different combinations of gear locks and going after tyrants and stuff. That just comes to mind as the first one I can think of. I love... We've had so many different players sitting around the table and different player counts, different gear locks, different tyrant combinations, and I just like... freaking love that game. But that would be my favorite co-op. But I like what... the ones Mel just mentioned too, for sure.
But again, we might have slightly
Of
different
course.
taste, right? So that's just the first thing that came to my mind when I read that question.
But I remember playing Lord of the Rings: Tears of Middle-earth last year, both of those campaigns, all the way through. You guys can see us playing them on YouTube, and I remember being super excited. We filmed all that. That wasn't live,
Yeah.
but we played some of those, like 3 or 4 of them in a day. We were like super hungry to be like, we'd play one for like an hour and a half, and then we're like, let's eat, and then we're like,
Again?
I want to know what happens next. Like, let's do it again. Like, we just
Yeah.
kept playing. Like, just turn the cameras back on and we play again and do it over and over.
Yeah.
And we killed through those super quick. But those are super fun. I'm looking forward to playing through more of that on the channel. But live this time.
Yeah, which
Live,
kind
it'd
of
be
might be
fun.
hard because we'll have to play them
yeah.
slower. We won't be able to just kind
Yeah,
of
we don't
binge
need
it,
to always
but
rush through playthrough
I know,
series.
I know. But when they're good, sometimes you just want to.
Let's see here. We already answered
already
some of
answered
these
that.
already.
Any more Mansion Madness coming? Sorry, there. Yeah.
Yeah. So Robert's asking, any more Mansion of the Madness coming? Probably, but not. It's not going to be easy. The problem
Yeah.
is we might play 2-player, but we can't really do it on weeknights because Mel works and has to go to bed at a certain time, and Kyle can only get here at a certain time. So that little window we have, we've run out of like 90 minutes to 120-minute scenarios to play.
And even the 90-minute to 120
They
are
still
still
take
longer than
yeah, because obviously
we're
streaming and
talking,
chatting
and we're
yeah.
we play slower maybe than
So
what
a lot
they
of
intended.
a lot of the scenarios are going to be like twice as long of streams. So they're more going to be weekend playthroughs. So
Yeah.
we need to find time with Kyle to come over on a weekend, or Justin, or both, or just Mel and I will schedule some on a weekend.
Yeah.
But yes, we're not done with that game. We have lots of expansion content. We want to play more scenarios of it. It just can't be a regular weeknight thing as easy as before.
Yeah,
so we have to
they're-
fit it in on weekends. But weekends we like to stream other games too that are like have been sitting in the hopper that take a while. So that's more of like a back catalog game. So we'll squeeze them in as we go, especially coming October, Halloweenish kind of time. We're gonna try to focus more on like horror-ish games on the channel, so that'll definitely make an appearance in there. So that's coming soon.
Yep.
What else we got here? Let's get down to the current chat, see if any questions are here. Rob made me buy Olive Role Player. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's
Playing
one
Role
game.
Player also made me buy Olive Role Player. I love that game. We tried the Monsters and Minions, and I read all the rules for Fiends and Familiars, but I don't think we played that one yet.
No, not live.
So Bernardo had an idea. So Kate's saying, Bernardo had an idea earlier, a game where the chat plays against or with Rob and Mel.
I did note that.
Yeah, we talked about
We
that
talk
before.
about that, yeah.
I just don't know.
It's
The
we
problem is I would think it's awesome, but it's like, I don't know how. I know on Twitch there's a plugin where people can click and like vote when you play. We could do it on Twitch for that specific one. But how do you do it where like a game where the chat has to make a choice? Do we stop and go, all right, everyone vote for like, do you pick this card or that card? Like, and then everyone votes? Or like, do we pick a couple players in the chat and switch it up each time? I'm just not sure how to do that without it being like a super long kind of messy stream.
yeah.
Not that I'm worried about messy streams. But yeah, I'm not sure. That one is like, I don't know the right way. Like, we could connect in over Discord and play voice with a couple players, but then how do you like pick which players to play with? I don't know.
Yeah, I think there's some logistics that we would have to look into and figure out on that.
Yeah. Something I want to do, but it's like,
Yeah.
I like in the streams when I do like, chat, pick this, or vote on that, or I'm setting up a Too Many Bones stream. Pick
Yeah.
my tyrant, pick my whatever. You like go and vote on a poll I made. I just don't know how to do that live throughout the playthrough over and over again without like interrupting the stream. Like, stop. Let me make a new poll. Drop it in the chat. I need to find a better way.
Yeah. Sirhan has a question there, right there at the top. Yeah.
Question inspired by a recent Jamie Stegmaier vid I saw. What is your favorite mechanic from a game? Doesn't have to be your favorite game, just a mechanic you really like. Thanks. That's a good one.
It's a great question.
I know some answers to this. I don't know if I have like a specific favorite. If I thought about it for a while, probably could rank the few. But just based on the games that have entered my collection over the years, I know at one point, and I still am, I freaking love deck building. I love
Yeah, we
building
do.
decks during a game, like deck building games.
Yeah.
Not building a deck for a competitive card game or a co-op card game to then play later. That deck building I don't like. I like building the deck on the fly while I'm playing a game. I love playing games. I don't like prepping for games.
Yeah. No
But-
pre-built decks.
Yeah, pre-built decks. I like tweaking decks and playing them in like Marvel Champions or Game of Thrones card game and that kind of stuff. but I'm not a deck builder from scratch. I've never really been good at that. I hate taking the time to do that. All I want to do is play. But I love deck building. I like worker placement. I bought a bunch of worker placements.
You love worker placement, right?
Engine building
Yeah.
in general. Engine building, going from getting like one resource a turn, being very slow, to by the end of the game on your turn, comboing off like, I'm going to do this to generate this resource, pay for that, do this, boom, 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 20 points, I win. Like, I love engine building in games, like building engines and combos and that kind of stuff.
I love character advancement, like building a character throughout a game. I love that.
Yeah, love that.
Yeah.
Love making choices of characters, but dice mitigation, I like that. That helps me like dice and to put dice in games. I'm usually one to hate playing dice and randomness in games, but when I can mess with the randomness, and that comes kind of related to engine building, I like when I can do that. But those are the ones that come to mind if I think about all the games that I've grabbed. I usually like certain things like that will make me value a game higher, and I'll look more into it. If it's like someone's like, oh, it's this type of game, but it has deck building, or for example, I'll be like, okay, let me look. Even though I may have played too many deck builders and maybe get bored of them, but I still love that mechanic. The only issue with worker placement, I love them. I love playing them. They're just not exciting on stream. That's the only issue. That's why you don't see them a ton on the channel. But I have so many, and I've played almost all of them on channel once. But I noticed they don't get a lot of love on the channel. But I still love them.
Bernardo has a question there.
Bernardo.
Yep.
Bernardo says, are you playing another War of the Ring, The Revenge of Mel? Yes.
Yes.
Mel was bringing it up. Mel was bringing it up last week when she was off for work. That was one of the games we were debating on playing when she had that week off and when she was joining me for the daytime streams. But we made a list of games and we just decided on the other ones and kind of left War of the Ring out because it would have taken more planning where we need to read the expansion rules. We want to play, but we may just switch sides and not play with expansion stuff again. But I do want to play that again. We're going to play that on the channel. So yes, that will come.
Yes.
The Revenge of Mel will come. But we're going to switch sides. We're definitely going to switch sides. I want to see her run the Sauron's armies, and I'm going to run the Free People's. And I've never played it. I want to slam dunk the ring in Mount Doom.
Or try.
No, I will.
No.
My little hobbits will get in there, and they will two-handed slam that ring into Mount Doom.
Oh, there's a question from Dragon there. The next one's good.
Oh, I ignore those ones.
Oh.
They're always related to food. Nah, just kidding.
No, but this is an interesting question.
So we got snacks at the game table, yay or nay? Not including drinks. No.
Nay.
Hell no. Hell no.
Yeah.
No. I have little drink holders attached to these game tables. I stopped even using them because I don't want drinks that close to the table, really. I have ones close. We put them on.
We have them on carts.
We bought carts to even keep them like at a lower level in a way. There's obviously still the chance like we could spill and ruin a game. Which
Knock
sucks.
on wood, because we have not yet.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah.
I don't think so.
Knock on wood, but no. We may around a game I don't care about, or at a friend's place if we're playing one of their games and they put snacks around the table. I'm not going to stop them. I just won't be touching it. I get super annoyed when my hands are dirty and I'm touching any game component, whether it's mine or not. It just feels gross. I don't want bacteria and like food goo on cards and components, and then I have to touch them, and then they put them back in the box. We pull them back out later. Ew. No.
We don't.
Not necessarily a germaphobe, but it kind of makes me feel like one the way I am with that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do have friends like that will just like pull out food and put it all around the games on the table, and I'm like, sure.
Yeah.
Whatever. Worst case, they buy me another game if they ruin the game, I guess, but it's all good.
Yeah.
But no. Roy's asking, any chance during Halloween could you stream Cthulhu Death May Die? If we have the game. I want it. I looked at it. It looks interesting. It's actually a come-on game I would probably grab from retail and try. But we'll see. It just depends if we add it onto a future order or not. But what happens is, every time we go to place a board game order, I only have so many funds I can spend on board games every month. Some games will get sent by publishers. That's why sometimes you'll see more games come on the channel and get added to the collection. Some of them are added, and that helps us get more games on the channel. But sometimes I place like a monthly board game order using Patreon funds and that kind of stuff. So I'll look at all the games on my wish list, games you guys mentioned. I'll do a little research, sit down with Mel, we look through them. And then based on like what might work on our channel, what we'd also like to play, and we kind of pick and choose. So Cthulhu Death May Die has been on my wish list for like a year since it was on Kickstarter. I didn't want to back it. I thought I would check it out at retail. And now I'm hearing really good things about it after it's hit retail. So that makes me go, okay, I'll give it a chance. So it's not out of the question. It's just we don't own it. And if it fits in one of the future orders, we may grab it. But I want to show more of it to Mel. I'll talk with some of our other game groups, see if they're like, it's interesting to them. I know, like, we've been asked about it a lot by you guys, so I can see you guys watching it. It looks interesting. Looks like it'd be fun.
Yeah.
It looks like on the level of like a little bit more advanced, like Zombicide kind of thing, but like the Cthulhu theme on it. Mutton Chop saying, pick a couple of people and just play with them. For the
that's
online
for the
thing.
yeah.
Loquitur says, Robs, I have an idea for some games to play live. We can chat in the Discord. Okay,
Nice,
all
yes.
right.
Bring those to our attention.
Deck builder. One Shop says, best deck builder in my opinion is Aeon's End.
I think so. Yep.
I could see that.
I agree with that one.
I could see. I think that's become like my favorite.
Yeah.
I love not shuffling decks.
So do
that
I.
right there sells me on it.
Yeah. So do I.
No, it's very fun. I love it for co-op too. That would be a high co-op for me if I did a co-op list. That would be. I love working together in that game. Let's see here. Scobber saying Everdell. Probably when it's talking about engine building. Kate saying maybe a monthly thing for a chat game. Randomly pick several patrons each time. That's what I thought about too. Was that if I have to pick a specific amount? Like when we played online for Viticulture.
Yeah.
I just went in the Discord and want to play with people from the Discord. Like, it just made sense. But I should do like with the audio and stuff. Like, I can trust you guys that you wouldn't like say bad things in the stream and stuff.
Maybe we can play
friendly.
with a delay, and then I can.
No, I wouldn't. I'm not that worried.
No,
like
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You're
But
fine.
I would never just randoms from chat like join on in. Woo!
Well, not with audio, but yeah.
Yeah.
We do trust you all, but
I'm not sure what this means from Jim. It doesn't look like a word or any letters I've ever heard of before.
his keyboard is just ding, ding,
Yeah,
ding.
not sure what that means, but I'll just move on. Let's see. Oh, Spencer says we're talking about mechanics. Isn't the loot mechanic a favorite?
For him, yes.
Yeah, hoarding treasures and loot and discoveries in games. I love discovery in games, and that's what like the loot mechanic in like Gloomhaven and stuff is like. I like the whole idea of not just collecting money, but like getting the chest and finding out what's inside. I love the discovery. That's a mechanic in games, like hidden things, like in legacy games or classes in Gloomhaven or treasures and stuff like that, or things in this War of Mine hidden in an app where we're like clicking in a number and it's like, what the heck is gonna happen?
Yeah.
I love that stuff.
And
or
any
Tainted Grail.
token on the board,
Yeah.
it's like he's like itching to search it.
Yeah, it's like a discovery thing. I don't know what you call that mechanic, but like the idea of discovery in games and finding out things that are different. Like I don't know what I'm saying there, but TV trays or nothing.
Yep.
Yes.
This is all about snacks now. Here.
S'mores at the game table. The
Oh my
horror.
gosh! Imagine.
Let's see here.
Mutton chop. There's a question there, a little bit up, right there. Yeah.
So Mutton Shop saying, I'm primarily a solo gamer. Is there any games you would rather play solo instead of 2 to 4 players? Oh, we got a pop. Jack, thank you for subscribing. Thank you so much. So, yes, I mentioned this. This is funny. I'm surprised I didn't get this question on my solo list. At least not that I saw yet. The solo top 10 solo games of my all-time or whatever that I posted earlier this week. There was, I mentioned at the start, I gave my disclaimers of how I pick games for my list. Like, if a game didn't have true solo, I don't care about it. Like, it's fine, but I don't want to play games two-handed, for example. But I also mentioned, I learned when I was putting together a list, I would rate games higher if I really like to play them solo only. Or there were a few games on the list that I was like, man, I really don't want to ever play this multiplayer. I really would prefer to play this solo. But a lot of the games I noticed, I would rather play the multiplayer, and I would rather like wait to play the multiplayer. Like certain games, if I was, let's say Mel went away, I was home alone, I couldn't play with anybody for like a week. And I was like, all right.
Yes, I'm going to go away for a week. No,
Yeah.
just kidding.
And I was like, I looked at my shelf and I had to pull a game off. That was my top 10. These are the games I would grab first and play, and I want to dive into them so bad, I would just play them solo. But games that would fit Mutton Chop's question, I would rather play instead of 2 to 4 players. Would be Seventh Continent. I played that 2 and 3 player. Did not like the game really. I thought it just felt weird. It didn't work. Then I pulled it back off the shelf, played it solo on the channel, fell in love with the game, and played the crap out of it, and I will be playing more of it on the channel. I loved it solo. I thought that's the way the game was designed to be played. You could tell that's the way it's meant to be played.
So it was a balance thing that was the issue?
It's just where they like separate actions. And Tainted Grail is the same way, but I never played Tainted Grail solo other than the tutorial, so that's why I didn't include it on the list, because I haven't played it solo enough to judge it as a solo experience. But games like This War of Mine and Tainted Grail and Seventh Continent, you could tell they're solo games that then they like divide it up. And there's games like this that they divide it up to play multiplayer.
Yeah.
So Dawn of the Peacemakers. This is another game where you can tell you could play it solo, you'll get more cards and everything. And it was designed that way. And then when they add 2 and 3 players, all they do is like divide the turns or the cards amongst all the players.
Yeah.
That I don't know. I know it's a balancing thing, but it's like games like that. Like I would play Seventh Continent solo over multiplayer. Mage Knight's one I hear that's mentioned that a lot, but I loved playing that multiplayer. But yes, I'm like a half and half. I would probably rather just play that solo, but I did have a blast the couple times I played it with Mel together. It's still awesome playing it 2 player. I would never play it 3 or 4 player. I don't care to spend a whole weekend playing through a game of that. But actually, I lie. I would totally do that. I totally would do that. I would love to see 4 mages on the board trying to scramble over everything and trying to gather all the stuff before the other players do and that kind of thing. But yeah, those 2 come to mind as like Mage Knight, Seventh Continent. And if I did Tainted Grail and play through it by myself, like the full kind of a few chapters at least, I probably would maybe like
it better?
that. But I had a blast playing that with
Yeah, we had
you.
a lot of fun with that game.
I love making choices and our 2 characters kind of going their paths and working together and the decisions that happen in that game. Like I loved experiencing that with you. So it's like doing that on my own. I don't know if that'd be the same. I'm not sure. But yeah, that's my answer to that one. Let's see. Oh, hey, Kanje's here. That's everyone saying hi. Let's see here.
Where are we at? A little bit higher.
Robert's saying, what about my Patreon goal idea?
Oh, did we miss it? Maybe Robert could list it again. Maybe I might have.
Did Mel make a note?
Well, I didn't write who said what. I'm just making notes. So I don't know. Maybe, Robert, if you could list it again, if you're still here, what your Patreon goal was. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
You might have missed it amongst.
Yeah, Robert, just drop it again in the chat, your Patreon goal. Sorry, we missed. I scrolled up. I can't see it. I don't know where it was. I probably missed it. But yeah, Mel will note it down.
Yeah, I may have already, but...
Oh, Bernardo's saying an idea. And this is one I thought of. It's upcoming Kickstarter campaigns.
Oh, yeah.
So this is one that I've noticed. I did this a couple of times. I've done it years ago where like a Kickstarter campaign will come out. I'll do a video discussing it or like a live stream when it launches or give my thoughts on it in a video. Sometimes it's just in a live stream. I'll bust into like, let me talk about this Kickstarter. But I really should do those kind of videos where maybe if one interests me, but I stopped following Kickstarter for a while and was like, if a game's that big, I'll find out about it later or I'll get it later. Because Kickstarter's, I've discussed this before, but the whole idea of like, show me this Kickstarter now, this is awesome, oh my god, I want it. Okay, I backed it. And then I'm the type of guy who will invest in something and then let it ride and just ignore it. Set it and forget it. That's my style. I don't want to hear your Kickstarter updates. I don't want to hear about your delays. The UPS guy will ding my doorbell and the game will show up at some point. I don't care. I'm not going to sit there refreshing the comments, waiting till when they ship to my country. I've just lost excitement for that stuff. So that also makes me lose excitement for even backing Kickstarters. I like the instant gratification of, oh, a game's reviewed well. People like it. Someone's mentioned it to me. I go look it up. Oh, I find out my local game store has it or was getting it back in stock soon or it's coming out very soon. I love being able to order it and get that instant gratification of getting it and dealing with it right there. Kickstarter does not deal that. There, you will click and it's full of disappointment. Like full of disappointment. Until the game comes at the end, then it's excitement, usually. So that's my problem. So I don't know about hyping up Kickstarters and stuff for games I'm not interested in. Or games I am interested in.
Or that you're not backing, right?
Yeah, or that I'm not backing. I feel awkward if I'm like, guys, check out this cool game. I'm super interested in it. Oh,
But I'm not backing
But I'm not going to back it all the way for retail.
Yeah.
But maybe I do that. I tried that with Massive Darkness where I was excited for it. But then I kind of like, I'll give my real thoughts on it here. So if you guys think that's cool and you want to hear me, like, if I'm interested and you're okay with me even like just showing you a game and talking about it and whether I back it or not, yeah, I have no problem doing that stuff. I know there's channels out there now that have come up recently that just, that's their whole thing. They just started doing that out of nowhere. And it's a thing people like. And I've watched channels that do that over the last few years. Like there's that, what's that one that copied? There's that King of Average guy. He's been doing it for a while. He used to do nice quality ones where he would do like kind of like a PowerPoint presentation telling you all about a Kickstarter. I used to get information from that guy, but then he stopped doing that. And now he does videos that all just complain about Kickstarters. But then there's another one that copied his format, this Board Game Co. or whatever. He came out of nowhere and he's now doing the same thing where they just kind of go through a Kickstarter. Kind of the videos I've done over the years, same style, where they just scroll through the Kickstarter page. If you guys don't mind me doing that, want me to do more of that, those are easy to do. Just sit in front of a camera and scroll through a web page. I can do more of that. That's not a problem. I just feel the quality of those videos aren't like challenging or fun or interesting really, but I do like to check out Kickstarters. If you guys want to watch me do that, I will do that. I did it for Frosthaven. I did it for Massive Darkness 2. I don't know what else I've done it for. But yeah, there were ones in the past too I did. But anyways, that's my thoughts on that. Can you give it a try? So Alessandro says, can you give a try to Tabletop Simulator to both play with supporters online and try a game before buying? No, I have no interest to play on Tabletop Simulator.
Yeah.
I think I bought it years ago, so I have it. I paid for it in Steam, but I just don't like watching it. I don't like using it. I tried to dabble with it before and was not interested. And then when companies started making actual digital board game adaptations of games, where like the rules are kind of enforced and there's tutorials and the graphics are nice and has sound effects, I will play those any day of the week. So like go check out Root or Raiders of the North Sea by Direwolf Digital. This publisher is pumping out the best board game apps ever. But yes, they don't make everything, and no company makes every board game digital like that to play on phone and Switch and PC and stuff. But I don't care that much. Even when I watch a game being played on Tabletop Simulator, it doesn't give me a good feel of the game. I can't follow along. It looks bad. I don't care to do it. I got in this hobby to disconnect from a screen to play with bits and get people around a table.
Yeah.
So I have no desire to play Tabletop Simulator online. I like playing apps online with people and stuff. It's fun. But I just don't care about Tabletop Simulator. I don't know, something about it. It's like, if I was desperate, and I've done it before, I've tried it and tried other online, like, kind of implementations of board games to play with friends who moved away and stuff in the past, but I don't know if I would ever do that as, like, a format on the channel ever. I'm just not a fan.
Yeah.
But that's just me. I don't picky that way. I don't know.
I also hate watching videos of people playing on Tabletop Simulator.
Yeah.
It gives me, like, motion sickness. Everything's, like, moving all over the place.
Yogi Bear says, Game Death Monster playthrough. With the funny face there, of course, the emoji. Everyone always asks this one, and it's probably a no at this point. I'm going to say no. Yeah, I'm just going to say no.
It's a no for now, I guess.
We
don't know for the future, but I mean, at this point,
happen.
it's probably a no.
It could happen, but it's not something I'm pursuing or I'm interested, but not pursuing.
Yeah, like if it fell in our lap, maybe we would consider, but...
Yeah. Ding dong. What the hell is this on our front door? And why can't I lift it? Let's see.
Kate has a question right there up to... Yeah, there you go.
Do you think you would play another Legacy game now that you can have more players? Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. I will play any Legacy game.
If only there was another Pandemic Legacy game coming out soon. If only in October there was a new one coming, like a Season 0 or something.
Yeah.
If there was, we'd play that for sure.
Definitely.
But yeah.
Definitely. I love Legacy games.
Absolutely. You know what one I want to kind of go back and play?
What?
And not our existing copy. Like, I would actually buy a new copy and play it again now that we have more players playing again. Is Clank Legacy.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to experience that with 4 players, especially our group that, like, you know, trash talks each other and is very competitive with each other.
Yeah.
I think that would be hilarious to play through that. Because Mel and I kind of treated it like co-op a bit, and we still try to kill each other almost every play, but
like at the very end, not from the middle or something.
We work together to kind of like beat the game, but I would like to see it where every player's kind of fighting with each other and we're not trying to beat the game and everything going bad. Mm-hmm. I would like to just see that for fun, like for entertainment purposes.
Yeah, I think it would definitely be more entertaining. for sure.
Mutton Chop's asking, have you ever been tempted to make a game? No. No. I'm a player. I'm not a creative person, really, I don't think. I more have like the math and science kind of technology brain. Yeah, in college and stuff, I chose to go with more of like I was in software engineering and that kind of stuff, and I went more of like when I had choices to pick like games that were or courses related to game design, like for it applies to tabletop, but like any kind of game design, digital game design. I love video games. I spent more hours playing video games than I did doing work on college stuff. But I never had the desire to make my own video game, nor do I for a board game. I love enjoying their art to me, and I'm not an artist, and I love people who are creative and come up with crazy ideas and put them together and make them beautiful, and I love enjoying other people's art. I'm not an artist myself, I don't feel. I can do this stuff. This is like technology and putting all that kind of thing together, and yeah, I'm just a consumer, I feel, not really a creator. Yeah, a creator of art like that, but
different kind of creator.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. I don't know if I'm explaining it correctly, but that's just how I am. Like I've made like websites and web apps and stuff like that, but that's like very strict. Like I have a set of instructions I'm trying to achieve, and I go for it. But I guess like game design is kind of like that too. But yeah, I just can't. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. But yeah, I know that would take a lot of work, and I don't have that kind of mind, I don't think. But if you do, all the power to you. Make some more awesome games out there, everybody. And those who do it, I look up to anyone who designs a game.
It's not easy.
Blows my mind. My mind.
A few Matts there. One more down.
Matt says, are there games you'd rather play on the channel than by yourself?
So that you'd rather play?
Almost every game. This is a problem. I used to play games. 90% of games I would play would not be on the channel.
Yeah.
And then if I really liked a game and felt comfortable with it and wasn't embarrassed, I would bring it on video and make a video of it. And there were some times I'd film it and not post the video. There's so many games I played in the past where I filmed it and then I just wasn't happy and I was like trash.
Or you made a mistake, right? And
sometimes even mistakes. If I like a big rules goof, I'm like, I'm not posting this. I feel bad. I don't want a new player seeing this and getting lost and the game's broken for them.
Yeah.
But now with you guys in the chat playing live, I love playing with you guys, especially solo games. It's kind of awkward sometimes when I play a solo game, and I still do it, not on camera. And I'm just like sitting there thinking, I'm enjoying, I hear birds chirping through the window outside, and I'm enjoying my coffee, playing a game solo. But man, sometimes I just want to like ask the chat. I want to ask the chat and discuss and hear ideas and hear you guys talk about it. But I think that comes from my whole, like, I like the board gaming for the social aspect and working together and competing and bouncing things off, the human connection. I love that about board gaming. So that's why you guys have made these solo games, like, up the next notch for me. Like, I love it because playing them with you guys. But I do obviously play before I go on camera with most of them to just practice and learn rules and stuff and try the games out, see if I even like them enough to play them on stream. But I don't know. I think every game I'd rather play on stream. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if there's ones that I would not want to play on stream or the opposite way. I don't know, Matt. That's a good one. Wow.
Yeah, that's a great
question. Yeah, now you could ask me that a year ago and I probably would have said, yeah, here's a bunch of games that I only play because I want to play them on the channel and I don't have any interest playing otherwise. But now it's like all game. Like I was just like, I'm excited when I get a game now. It's not just me wanting to play it too. I factor in like, would these viewers, would they like it? Like they like this, would they like that? Like I kind of like, I want to play it with them. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. It's weird. I don't know how to describe that either, but so Jack's asking, did you end up pledging for Outstorm in the Deepwood? Yeah, we mentioned that earlier. Yes, we did. Yep. We backed it. So you'll see it on the channel later. And I'm assuming there'll be a way if you're holding out. We'll play through it on the channel. We'll give you our thoughts. We'll play through it. You'll get to see it all fully out. So if you don't want to go spend hundreds of dollars on it now, wait. You'll see us play it. You'll see other reviews come out. You'll be able to get it later, I'm sure. If it's that hot and they print a bunch of them, I'm sure it'll show up in retail stores. I'm sure some retailers were part of those pledges too. So you'll see it show up on some store shelves and on some websites. So you can always get it later.
Yeah.
I backed it. I'm telling you guys I backed it, so it's coming. So if you want to wait on it, that's by all means. I'm not telling you to back it because I backed it. I'm telling you I backed it, so if you want to wait, see my impressions, see how it works on the channel, and see the game, and I'll be honest about the game, and tell you if it was worth it or not. And you guys can use that information as part of your research and make your decisions based on that. If the game's that good, you'll find it later. Don't feel the fear of missing out. Like, oh my god, the late pledge is open, I gotta back it now, or I'm never gonna get it. There'll be people who buy it just to sell it. There'll be people who buy it and don't like it who will sell it. There'll be stores that'll be begging to get it if it's that popular. And they'll do another Kickstarter and make another expansion or something to get it back on Kickstarter in the future. So that always happens with games that do very well.
Yeah.
So do not have that fear of missing out. Don't let that get you. That's like a lot of companies like prey on people with that stuff. Yeah, Heather's correct. I could play Tainted Grail solo and make different choices.
Yeah.
That's something I should do. But I won't remember my previous choices. Every week that goes by, Heather, I'm forgetting everything that happened in the previous game, other than the major things. I'll remember those. But when I was talking with Joseph yesterday, he played through his playthrough and he watched our playthrough after, and he's like, there were choices that are made early that would affect choices later, and like totally different options will appear in certain playthroughs with certain characters and stuff. So I may not even have the same options to pick from even in a playthrough with different characters and stuff,
true.
which is super...
Which is so interesting.
I love that. Oh, super interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Robert again. New Patreon goal. Solo playthroughs with beautiful Mel. Who is this? Who's this? Beautiful Mel? Don't know beautiful... No, I'm just kidding. No, of course
Thank
I
you.
do.
That's sweet.
Yeah, because then that would give me days to go learn more games and play more games. If she's busy streaming on those days, then you guys don't bug me about streaming, because Mel will be streaming. It'll be great. But Mel still has a full-time job and also works, so she's only has so much time. But would you do that?
I don't know. I guess it's something
I want you to try it with Hostage Negotiator, because you keep saying you like watching that. You like the theme of that game. She likes the theme of Hostage Negotiator, and she says it looks interesting. I'm like, I'll teach you the game. I'll sit there even with you and walk you through it. And then if you really like it, like, would you play it on the channel? It'd be fun if you just tried a couple Abductors and played them and had some fun with it.
Yeah, so I guess to answer this question, it's not something that I had thought of, because originally I always thought, I'm just a person that comes to play on his channel. I thought, nobody cares. Nobody wants to see if I play. So I never thought about it. So I guess, I don't know. It's something that I'll definitely think about. Because I just always thought, nobody wants to watch. Like, as for the one above there, too, with... where's my top 10 list? I always thought nobody cares what I have to say. They're here for him, right?
Not true.
So,
that is, I've learned that
right,
it's not true.
Yeah, so I don't know. It's something that now we have to start thinking about. And originally when this channel started, I was very nervous in front of the camera. I would not talk in front of the camera. I was just like, okay, I'll just sit here and he can talk and I'll just move my pieces around. But obviously just doing it for years, you just kind of get more comfortable. So maybe it is something that I would consider doing in the future if it was something that people wanted to see, I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
So not saying no.
Yeah, we could add Mel's top 10 to like a Patreon goal as a thing. Like
I put
hitting 100 patrons or something, because we're getting close to that or something like that. We could do something like that, or when we hit 120 or 150 patrons, we could add that as a goal. But that's something did you note that
I
as
did.
like
I did.
A Patreon thing? Because like
I guess I could
you can do your yearly top 10 as a thing. If people want to see that, that's cool. I'll help you with that. We'll get it all done.
Okay.
Munchop says, I just bought 7th Continent because of your top 10 solo game video. Awesome. Can't wait to get it.
That's awesome.
So good. I love it. I hope you like it too. It's great solo. It's definitely a great solo game. And that's, I think, what made me pull it back off the shelf. Because I just knew it was an amazing game that people like. So I backed the second Kickstarter of it. I got it. I played a bit of it with Mel. Then I played a bit with Mel and my daughter. We tried some 3-player. And I was like, man, I don't know. This game is just not pulling me in. But then when I was looking into solo games over last year, I think that's when I saw it on some lists high up, and I went, all right, I'll go look into it. And I was like, I'll play through the first curse, and like I might not end up liking it, but I'll work my way through it, have some fun with the chat. And I obviously was just like, man, I want to play more. Like, it's so great. Some curses are better than others, depending on your taste, but it's a great game. And yes, you will die, and you will struggle, and you will get better at it. Keep with it. And there's many hours in that box if you're willing to give the game a chance to learn its systems and stuff. And you can see if you go back, maybe after you've played the first curse, go back and watch the first episode-ish or first playthrough of my attempt, I discuss a lot of things I learned playing it and that kind of thing in that video. But maybe I can do stuff like that as like strategy, I don't know, of games, like how I figured the game. And it was help from the chat, like George J and stuff that love the game. There's people in the chat through that. I think Sajat was there helping out in that, giving tips and stuff. But they were just making me look at Seventh Continent in a different way. Like I figured out some things before I started streaming, and there were some things we even butt heads on that I think is a better way to play and whatnot. But they were teaching me some efficient ways to kind of like where to be risky, where to not, and not spoiling it. They were just like gameplay strategy stuff. So there are ways to play Seventh Continent correct, and there's ways that you will die a lot. And whenever I see someone saying, I've tried the first chapter and I have failed 10 times and I can't figure it out, there's some concepts that aren't obvious in Seventh Continent to wrap your head around and figure out that are like subtle. But once you understand it in the game, it's a survival game. Like you gotta be careful and keep your life up, kind of idea. Let's see here. Rodnov's back. Ronald's here. Hello. Good to see you both again. I like the shelf behind. Yeah, this is what's hiding behind part of our green screen and stuff. I moved these around actually this week too and kind of clean them up a bit to make it look nicer in the background. Usually it's just like a mess of like, here's what I'm working on one shelf, here's what I'm working towards, and I even have a shelf like this upstairs now that's like got stuff that I'm like need to learn and work on and kind of get through. So I kind of neatened it up just for the top 10 video. I want to try something different because I have these nice looking shelves with these beautiful boxes of games that look great, but they're always hidden in the corner of our dark basement or behind a green screen or in another room. And I thought, no, I want to put them all out here along this wall, and we can expose them in these Q&A videos and top 10 lists and stuff.
Yep.
But that's why that stuff's there.
Yep.
But you won't always see this. We'll be doing some green screen because I like hiding myself out of the way so we can fit more of the beautiful games on the table too. That's the other thing. Oh, I see Joseph snuck in here. Hello, Joseph.
Hi, Joseph.
Let's see. Oh, Elizabeth also mentioned I don't watch TTS Tabletop Simulator videos. Don't like them. Yeah.
They're hard to follow for me, at least. I don't know.
I understand what's the only option. Do what you got to do. Show a game off on Tabletop Simulator, especially with the state of the world and the pandemic. People can't just go to a convention and try a game anymore. But I'm still holding out to play some of these games in person at conventions or try them at local game stores or buy them and play them myself. I have no desire to like go online unless there's like a nice implementation. I know there's other websites that implement board games a little better and not as loose, that aren't just physics engines like Tabletop Simulator. I forget one of them, like Board Game Arena or Tabletopia. One of those two has like nice implementations with the rules and everything. They're kind of more structured. Those are neat, but they just don't have every game on there. That's the problem. And a lot of companies are just making Tabletop Simulator for playtesting, and then they're double dipping and using that to also demo the game. But they're also using it to play test. So like, I don't know. No. John B says, stick with your strength. Others can scroll through Kickstarters and comment.
Yeah.
That's exactly how I look at it. I don't, like, I'm not out to copy other people, but I know people are interested in certain things. Like, so if I feel it's like a special occasion, like a big deal Kickstarter or a big game I want to give my thoughts on or hear your thoughts on or start a conversation about, I'll still do those. But I don't think I'm going to switch to like, maybe like a once a week or once every couple weeks, maybe I would do like a today's Rob's Kickstarter rundown or something. I might do something like that, John, but I would never like every 4 out of 5 videos would turn into that.
No.
I would never do that.
No.
That's not what I'm interested in doing. That's not how I want to show the hobby off to people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Heather did say, I enjoyed hanging out with everyone during the Massive Darkness of Frosthaven launch. I love doing that. I love the whole live stream celebration. I like the Gen Con, the new product announcements. Those I was hoping was going to happen at Gen Con Online too. I do like doing that, and I will do them, but I'll be picky and choosy, and I'll kind of do those things. But yeah, that was fun. Bernardo, top gen from Chelsea? Depends on the day of the week whether she wants to even play games. Like, hey Chelsea, come play Root, the game that you freaking love. Want to play it? Nah.
So,
I'm gonna keep playing Minecraft. Leave me alone.
Yeah. So when she says you want to play, we have to jump because yeah.
But she'll play a game and be like, I love this game. Like 10 minutes into a game, she'll be like, this game is awesome. And it's like, I need to just write those down. Like, yeah, write these ones down she got excited about, and then see if we can get her to put them in a list. I don't know if we can get her attention for long enough to come up with 10 games.
No.
That's the problem. But I can tell you, she does love Everdell. She loved that. She loved Wingspan. She loves Root. She really liked Keyforge.
Yeah. She really liked Role Player.
Role Player? Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
She really liked Role Player.
So I could probably like put all these in front of her and just tell her to like rank them. And we could probably do that. Because they're all like, they're not kids' games. She's 10 years old. It's not like a list of like games for kids, but it's like she's 10 and these are what she likes. So maybe she's a little like more advanced because we've been playing games with her since she was like 4 or something.
Yeah. She also loves Lords of Vegas. She loves that game.
Yeah, Lords of Vegas. Yep, she's a gambling addict and loves going to Vegas and doing things there. Untrue. We think you guys as a team. It's awesome when you guys play together. Like when you played Dawn of Peacemakers.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you.
That was fun. That was I loved playing through that whole game. That was great.
I think this is in response to the me playing solo. And I think me playing with him, I think it's different from other channels. Which I like that we're not trying to be the same as someone else. And I think we play well together. We have different strengths in games, so I think that makes it exciting. And we butt heads in games, which I think is also fun to watch.
It's fun. Watching a married couple work through our issues in a board game is great.
Yeah, that is true.
Let's see. If you guys have any other questions, anyone who tuned in, we're in the middle of like a Q&A part of this stream here. We'll go for like another 20, 30 minutes probably at least. So if you have any questions about the channel in general, anything, just ask. I'll answer them or ignore them. We'll see. But I'm just kidding.
Some of them we're probably just missing. We're not trying to ignore on purpose. So if you ask something and we didn't answer it, feel free to ask it again. And then if we ignore it, then we...
Here's one. Time Slayer's asking. So when is the next This War of Mine win?
Oh my god, I'd play that whenever he said let's play.
Yeah.
I love that game. However, I love the scenarios that are shorter.
Yeah, we're going to play through more scenarios and try some of these modules too.
Yeah, I wish I knew that before.
But I don't like the way the modules they give you, they're like, don't play these modules with scenarios, they throw off the balance. But some of the scenarios come with their own like little modules, so I don't know, we'll figure it out.
But I love that game, yes.
Yes, it's a great game. But yeah, we have both expansions, we're all in, like, let's do this. But yeah, we'll play more. I just don't know when. I don't know right now when.
Yeah.
We're kind of go week by week, kind of.
I know.
Because I'll have ideas, and then like the doorbell rings, and some publisher like sends us a game that I either forgot about, or they sent us a game before and didn't tell us another game was coming. That does happen sometimes. Oh, Dale's here. Hey, Dale.
Hi, Dale.
Let's see. Dale's saying, "Hello, Rob and Mel. I have a hard time with Tabletop Simulator for playing or learning."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just...
So that's good. I'm not the only one.
Yeah, we're there with you.
Yeah.
I could figure it out. I could be very good at it, I'm sure, if I spent some time in it. But man, I just love how board games physically look on the table. That's the whole why it's Rob's Gaming Table. Come to my table. I have something to show you. Here it is.
Yeah.
I try to stay away from digital as much as possible. I have publishers messaging me all the time. Rob, play this digital game. Rob, play this digital game. I have a digital version. Digital. And I'm like, no. I only want to play digital games if I played them already in physical form. 99% of the time, that's how I do it. Because I'm like, I want to play the physical game. And then I'll play the digital and try it out. But I don't want to just play games digital, period. I have video games that I could play. I like to play my board games physically on a board game table with people, or with the chat even. It's still like that. But I'll play digital online adaptations of games. The Tabletop Simulator implementation is not what I'm looking for. I need some more structure to it, I guess, is what I'm looking for.
Oh, Elizabeth's got a question in here.
Uh-oh.
She's trolling us.
I'm supposed to answer Elizabeth questions now, too?
Right there. Oh, up a little bit. No.
What cereal are we eating on Saturday mornings? Is that what she's asking?
No. Right there, yeah. No.
This one?
Yeah.
This one? Question. Oh, the other thing, Elizabeth, add question marks at the end.
are you looking for question marks?
I'm only scanning through for question marks, and I do read some of the other stuff, but that's probably why I skipped over that.
Oh,
because some of them are just statements. And I do read, I'm trying to read them all, but
I'm trying to read them all too.
I then scan back up looking for question marks. I got to get better at this, that's for sure.
No, that's okay.
So when is the next 24-hour stream? Never. No, I'm just joking. We would, you can say.
We've made a decision that we won't actually do another 24-hour live stream. That was crazy, and we're too old for that. So the only thing we would potentially do in the future is do 24 hours over a weekend. So we would do a 12 hours and a 12 hours.
And stagger them.
Yeah.
So the first day might be 3 or 4 hours off starting time from the next day. So it might start at like 7 a.m. our time on the Saturday, finish at 7 p.m. our time, and the next day might start at 10 a.m. on the Sunday till 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Just to try to hit some different time zones a little bit. But playing through the night our time, it was fun. It was a cool experience.
Yeah, it was something that we'll never forget. That's for sure.
Yeah, I've always wanted to do it. And it's not totally out of possibility. We may do it again in the future.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say no, never, but... I mean, I did say never, but...
Yeah, we did say
I
never.
was joking.
But that was right after it happened.
Yeah. But we'll definitely do long marathon streams. We will do some celebration where we just play random games for 12 hours. We have people... I want to do it too, and we can have people join us. And some people show up, hang out for 8 hours and leave, or hang up for 4 hours and leave kind of thing.
Yeah.
Show up at different times. We've done streams like that kind of in the past, where just random people show up and join us on camera and stuff. But yeah.
It was rough. Let's just say that.
It was also all on us and Chelsea to help pick up the slack. So it was like, yeah.
Oh, Kyle came for one game.
He did?
Yeah, he played Mansion Madness.
I forgot all about that.
he's
Oh, yes.
forgotten.
That was at 8 p.m. during that stream.
Yeah.
And I didn't record it locally like a noob,
Yeah.
thinking YouTube would archive it. And then I learned after they don't guarantee archiving stuff over 12 hours.
Yeah.
So you'll see a lot of other channels will only do streams for up to 12 hours, and now I know why. If anyone else does a marathon and you see it's like separated into 12-hour sections, that's why, because YouTube only guarantees archiving your stuff if it's less than 12 hours, I think was the number. So that's a pro tip to anyone out there. Unless YouTube changes that. If they expand it, which I'm sure they will at some point, but... Elizabeth says, my daughter likes games where she can beat up on me.
Yes.
LOL.
That's the
Yeah,
thing,
our daughter's
yeah.
very competitive, and
Yeah.
if she wins a game, she'll want to play it more.
Yeah.
But if she loses, she'll like...
We're working on that.
The thing is, if she loses too, sometimes she'll be like, she'll get upset a little bit and kind of like get quiet and leave. And I'll give her the speech of, come on, be a good loser and a good winner, you know, that kind of thing. Be gentle, be humble.
Yeah.
And but then an hour later, she'll come back down and be like, let's go again.
Yeah.
I want another chance. Let's go. I'm going to beat you this time. Yeah, so it's
Yep.
kind of good. But yeah.
Oh, Bernardo's got to run. See you later, Bernardo. Thank you for the questions.
Need to run. Keep a good job. We're having people coming and going to do pulled pork tortillas sandwiches.
Oh. Nice.
Dropping the food, you guys.
Yep,
Are being
always,
jerks. No, I'm just joking.
always.
Bernardo, enjoy the rest of your day.
Yes, enjoy.
Time Slayer says you're not like Rado's invisible wife. Oh, I've seen
But
his
I
wife.
think she's come on lately. I was going to say,
Yeah,
I thought the same
I've
thing
seen
for
her-
a while. I
I've
was
seen her
like,
here and there, but she is like, you know, Jen is in every stream, supposedly. Jen's playing with him, but never there. She's imaginary. For a while there, I thought she was fake.
I
but-
did too for a while, but I
we-
think she surfaced in the
yeah,
last few
we've
videos.
seen her. She just obviously doesn't want to be on camera. I could understand that.
Yeah, I was like that at the beginning. I felt very awkward on camera.
Yeah, I felt awkward asking anyone to play on stream.
Yeah. But I think
And there's
just,
some players we play with that I just don't ask to play on stream ever, that you guys have probably never seen on camera, that I just won't ask because I just feel I feel like they wouldn't really want to do it.
Yeah, something that you have to get comfortable with for sure.
Spencer's asking, my son will be 3 years old next month. Is it too early to introduce Too Many Bones to him? Yes.
No.
Yes. No. The pieces in Too Many Bones he could choke on? No.
Well,
I'm just kidding. Yeah. You don't
no,
want him choking on a guy.
if you watch, no.
He is 0 to 15 against me in Candyland. You're horrible. I love it.
I mean, I don't think it's ever too soon to introduce kids to games, and I think you just have to work with their level and make the game. So instead of playing with all the rules of Too Many Bones, you're going to put some chips under a baddie, you're going to roll some dice, and he's going to take the chips away.
He's 3.
You know what I mean?
I don't think he's really going to play Too Many Bones. I think Spencer's kind of messing around.
I
He
know,
just
but I'm
wants
just
more
saying.
players to play with.
I'm just
but-
saying he can roll the dice
Yeah.
and do that kind of stuff. Like you have to get them excited and
I remember
teach
one-
them young.
I remember going to my first Gen Con in like 2013. My daughter was turning 4 that year. So
Okay.
she was 3, almost 4 in that summer. And I remember going around, one of the first things I did when I had a moment to myself, I went and wandered up and down the family area and was demoing children's games. I would never really looked at kids' games in stores before. I never looked at them online, never cared. But I'd spent probably 2 hours walking up and down and letting every booth kind of sell me on a game. Tell me how my 3/4-year-old daughter I want to engage her in gaming, something to get her brain working that's not too complicated. Show me. And I had them all show me games. I spent 2 hours being demoed these kids games, and then I remember picking up some games from like Blue Orange Games and Haba at the time. But yeah, go check out Haba. Haba USA. They have some great games for kids that age and older. Like you can play games growing with your child from Haba. They focus on that. They have games that are more goofy and fun and are pretty. They have games that are more work in the brain and that kind of stuff. But yeah, Haba's very good for kids games. I would say they're my favorite overall. But Blue Orange Games has a few games too in their catalog. But I just don't know what's in print anymore because obviously I don't shop for kids games anymore. But at the time, those were the two companies I felt that were producing like the best stuff for younger kids to like, single digit age children is the idea there. But yeah, check that stuff out, Spencer. Go grab some Haba games for your son.
There's some good ones.
And even grab some now that I bought some games too that I plan on playing with her over the next few years. As she grew up, I would pull games off the shelf I'd owned for 2 years and be like, all right, I think you're ready for this. But I wanted to grab it at the time because I know some of these games, come out and then they don't sell or don't stay in stock and they disappear and stuff like that. So every time I go to Gen Con, I look through the kids section. They have like a whole family section. I go through and kind of like look at it and see what's in there. Obviously now I'm going to do that less as she gets older because she's playing the same games we play now. But
yeah.
But I did it almost every time I went to Gen Con. I would spend half a day like kind of going through there. Let's see here. So Cabra is asking, where's that Dawn Shadow game and plans to play it again? I think he means Dawn Shade. And no, we don't have that game anymore. That game came and went. That was, yeah.
He put a winky face there for a reason.
Yeah, I know.
He's trolling.
He's trolling, but he's being funny. I do want to bring it up, though, for those curious.
Yeah.
I've always been picky when picking games, especially Kickstarter prototypes. I have companies reach out to me all the time and say, Rob, check out my Kickstarter prototype or check out my games coming back to Kickstarter. We want you to look at it. We want it on your channel. Sometimes I'll look. I'll spend 10 minutes. Sometimes I'll spend an hour or more looking into the game. I'll discuss it with Mel. I'll spend another day going back to it. I'll think about it. I'll sleep on it. Because sometimes I just don't want to put a game on the channel. Sometimes a game I'll see it and I'm like, no.
Or we're not sure.
Or the rules aren't finished or something like that. I don't want to mess with that stuff. But sometimes the game looks super cool and I want to be part of it. So games like The Great Wall and Euthia and stuff, those drew me in. And those were good picks.
Yeah.
But the game Dawn Shade, it had a lot of things going for it on the sell sheet. The only problem with that game, and I should have known it was a red flag, was there was no playthroughs or any kind of material like that online. But they sent us a full rule book, and I looked through it, and it looked interesting. And everything I saw was like, okay, this seems like it'd be okay. But then when we played it, it wasn't what the look of it was delivering. So we still had fun with it, but it was not the deep, rich game that you would assume would come with that kind of price tag.
Right.
It did look pretty. It did play okay, but it was not like mind blowing. And that goes to the same thing I talk about sometimes in miniatures games. It's like a $200 pledge for a game you're going to spend 5 hours playing and throw it back on the shelf, and that's it. That's not a good value. That's not worth my time and money. So Dawn Shade was one it was recommended to us to look at, but it was, when I did my investigation, I don't know. I should have looked more deep into it. But we still had fun with it. It's still a fun game, and some people are going to love that. That's more of a family weight game.
Yeah.
But for a family weight game, it shouldn't cost that much. But it has all those premium components, so it's like, there is a niche for that. But like a game like, for example, Cloudspire Too Many Bones uses similar components, similar quality, but it has a meaty, rich, heavy game experience in there that would match the premium hardcore gamer component quality matches the game quality, like the game system quality. And that Dawn Shade, there was a mismatch there.
Yeah.
But I wish them the best on that game. I hope it comes out. I hope they refine it. I hope they learn from all the feedback, and I hope they make a better second game, or the game that they're designing. Hope they make improvements to it, and maybe you'll see it in the future on the channel. Maybe it'll be a second thing to come around. Maybe that publisher comes out with something cooler based on what they've learned. I will see. But that's my thoughts there on that one. Scott was asking, favorite adult beverage? I'm a gin and tonic guy. I love gin and tonics. That's what I like to drink.
For me, if I was out, I like Amaretto sours, but at home, I will drink wine.
Yeah. I usually just have beer if we're playing on a stream, relaxing. I'll just have a beer. But I don't pick beer. I don't care. Friends will bring beers. I'll buy cheap beer. Whatever. I don't care. I just will drink whatever.
We're also not huge drinkers either.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Like, we're just like social drinkers.
Yeah.
Once in a blue moon.
Yeah, once in a blue moon. Yeah. Even you guys will see me milking the same beer for like a whole 4-hour playthrough. I just don't. Yeah. But I'll have one to just chill. And it's usually like, I'll go for like Rolling Rock is a beer I like. I don't know. It's nothing crazy, but.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just simple people.
So we're the simple folk.
This is a great question here. Look at Veljako's question.
Veljko says,
sorry.
if you could choose one game to take on vacation, what would you bring?
That's a tough question. I think I would.
That's a loaded question, and I've gone on vacation and brought games, and here's the thing. What type of vacation? Are we going on a plane? Are we flying? How long am I there? Will I have time to even play a game? These are the questions that come up every time I go anywhere. If we were going to Gen Con, I probably don't want to bring anything because I know I'll be getting games there. So I want to have as much room in my car to come back as possible. If I'm flying, it will be something tiny that doesn't add a lot of weight, so I can still fit all my clothes and stuff for a business trip. Sometimes I'll investigate before going on a business trip for work in the past or whatever. I will investigate if there's a local game store nearby that people are recommending online, and I won't bring any game. And I'll go to that game store and I'll walk in and I'll play dumb and I'll see what the people behind the counter recommend to me. I'll pretend I'm a noob and I'll walk in and be like, hi, I'm traveling, I'm new to the area, I'm hanging out in my hotel, or I'm meeting up with some friends later, some coworkers. What's a game I could play? What would you recommend to me? And I kind of see what they recommend and what they have and their prices and that kind of thing, and I'll pick up a game for fun. I've bought a bunch of my games like in different places I've traveled for work and stuff, but yeah, depends on the size.
But let's pretend me and Chelsea are going to.
So I can tell you what
cottage.
What we've brought to a cottage and camping trips in the past.
Yeah.
The last one we stayed in cottages. We brought just some light worker placement ones like Raiders of the North Sea and Architects of the West Kingdom.
Yep.
Because they don't take up a lot of table space. They're not too long to play, and they're easy to get into. And yeah, we love playing that. I would bring something like Dungeon Roll, or not Dungeon Roll, One Deck Dungeon, because of its portability. I think that would be fun to play through. You can play that with 2 people, or add a second small box to play with 4. Star Realms, Hero Realms, those 2 games I've packed in luggage many times to bring and play with other people. But Hero Realms, with the campaign box, you can, for a second small little box, have a campaign to play through, and you can do Star Realms against like AI bosses and stuff, so you can also play that as a co-op or solo. But yeah, not Gloomhaven.
Yeah.
Not Gloomhaven. Just kidding.
But
yeah, just smaller games that are like easy rule sets that if I'm traveling somewhere, I'm trying to relax, I'm not worried and stressed about reading through a 50-page rule book. Something where if I got to browse through like a 10 or less 12-page rule book, maybe I'll bring stuff like that, or a small little rule book, or something I know that Mel or Chelsea or I can teach quickly, because I'll obviously be on this vacation to either relax or to do stuff for something else, like I'm traveling for a reason.
Yeah.
And if that thing's not gonna, if it's gonna stress my brain or anything like that, I want to avoid that. Yeah.
It's a great question.
Yeah, that's cool. Kanji's asking, what's that game below Dawn of Peacemakers? This is Forbidden Stars. It's a game I've played a bunch. Years ago when it first came out from Fantasy Flight Games. It is a implementation of StarCraft, the board game, which is like a holy grail game people love. But when Fantasy Flight came out with this game, I snatched it up. I taught a bunch of players. I played it only 4-player actually, but I've heard it's really good too. Then it went out of print because Fantasy Flight lost the Warhammer deal. They separated, so anything with the Warhammer license on it or anything from Games Workshop, Fantasy Flight just stopped printing and stopped selling and took it out of print. So I have a copy of it, and it's a game. It's in the top 100 list on Board Game Geek. It might have fallen out a bit now because it's out of print for so many years now. But it is a dudes on a space map thing. It was like my Twilight Imperium to me, because it doesn't take as long, and it's in space, and I like the Warhammer 40k theme, and it's that kind of game where you're just like flying around planets and trying to upgrade your dudes and your ships and stuff, and yeah, it's something we want to play on the channel. We've talked about it before, kind of learning it and playing it similar to how we did War of the Ring, where we'll practice it, get back into it, then do a nice long playthrough where we go through it. The only problem that's held me back from doing that is that it is out of print. So hashtag Robin Mel made me want to buy it, but it's out of print and I have to pay lots of money on eBay to buy it. I don't want that to become a hashtag. So, but I want to play it on the channel. I just would feel bad. Nobody can get it really unless you buy a used copy or overpay for it because it's out of print.
Yeah.
But I will play it on the channel. We will play it at some point, just for fun, to get it on the channel. But yeah. Oh, yeah, I see a bunch of answers to that in the chat.
Oh, sorry.
My bad.
You guys are faster
Yeah,
than
we're
us.
Yogi Bear is asking about Sleeping Gods. Something I'm interested in, especially now playing out of books through Jaws of the Lion.
Yeah.
And we're going to be playing Aftermath on the channel. I'm now not so... Before I was not really interested in a game where you're playing out of a book. Yeah, quirky circuits and above and below and all that stuff. Never, just because of that format, never interested. But now because of Jaws of the Lion, I want to take a look at that. And I hear Sleeping Gods is kind of improved on those games, and it might be the best one out of all those. But I have heard the other games might be like kind of boring. So I don't know if that'd be something I want to stream and play on the channel. But I'll investigate it. I don't think it's out yet, right? But it's coming soon. It's like the third one in Ryan Lockett's series. But yeah, that's all I know. But I wouldn't cancel it out. But it's just nothing I'm like chasing down right now. Scott's asking, another popular solo game that wasn't on your list is Robinson Crusoe. Have you tried that one? I have a used copy I bought earlier this year. I found on Facebook Marketplace with a bunch of other games. I got it for $20. It's the first edition though. So I got it. I looked at it and went, oh yeah, this is a game with a known bad rule book. I downloaded the second edition rule book. I looked at it. I heard that's not good still. It's going to take me some time to learn it, but it's sitting there. I don't know if I'll play that version or if I'll just go buy the second edition. But it is a game that was recommended to me already. It's the most recommended one to me since I did that top solo list that I haven't played yet. But I want to play it on the channel. I even want to play it co-op with Mel. I showed her. She likes that theme.
Yeah.
She likes that theme a lot. So I'll probably play it more co-op, but I'll do solo on the channel.
Yeah.
It is something I want to get on the channel and play and try. So yes, it will come. It will come, Scott. That's a good one. Spencer's asking, do you have a top 10 shelf of shame?
That's interesting.
I don't think we have 10 games on our shelf of shame anymore. We've worked through most of them.
Yeah, I think we did.
And we've been more careful with buying and backing Kickstarters and stuff because most of our shelf of shame was Kickstarters.
Yeah.
Games we'd buy at a store, we'd buy them, take them home, and literally crack them open that day and play them within the next few hours or the next few days. But I found with Kickstarters, because you're clicking the button and it doesn't deliver for months or years, when they come, life is happening. Games are being played. I'm ignoring them. I don't just stop everything I'm doing when a Kickstarter arrives, usually. And those would go on the shelf, and I say, oh, we'll go back and learn that and play that later. So the worst one on our shelf of shame right now is Rising Sun.
Yeah.
I have like a Kickstarter, all the stretch goals. I paid for upgraded components and all this, and I've opened some of it to like organize it a bit, but because it needs a few more players, I just haven't took the time to teach and get it on the table. But that is the one that's bugging me the most. That's on our shelf of shame. War of the Ring was originally the high one, but we got that off our shelf recently, thanks to you guys. But yeah, I would say Rising Sun. That's the top shelf of shame game. I don't know about a top 10. I don't think that exists. I think most games I've played through now. But there was at one point, like a couple of years ago, where it got bad like that, where I would get busy with work and I would just like order, back Kickstarter, and then just get busy with life. And then they would show up and I'd be like, I don't have time for this right now. And the shelf would just get full of these big box games and stuff. But I think I've worked through most of that stuff. So now I'm very picky. Since doing this full time, I only have so many funds. I have to like be very picky with what I get, and I have to play through it. It may take some time to play through it and learn it, but there's no shelf of shame stuff. Or what is the other one? The shelf of opportunity or pile of possibilities. There's no games like that. There's games that we've got recently that are sitting there. We're in the process of getting on the channel. I wouldn't consider those a shelf of shame, right?
Not yet, no.
Let's see here.
That's a good question.
Kadora says, is this your only job? Yes, for me. This is, other than being a dad, yes, this is my only job. A year ago, I had a video I did about this. I've always wanted to kind of try the YouTube thing But just work. I changed jobs a few times, and I was just busy, and then I would start doing a lot of videos, like doing tournament videos or doing playthroughs, and people would want more, but then work would get busy, and I would ignore the channel, and sometimes I wouldn't post a video for like a month, and we'd lose subscribers. People wouldn't be as interested. Doing a live stream and only having like 2 people there, I know when you're new, that's expected. That's fine. But when you've been on YouTube for like 6 years and you do a live stream and only like one person shows up for the whole stream, it's like, yeah, it doesn't motivate you. Let me tell you that. But I always wanted to give YouTube a fair shake, and only having like weekends free, and also having a family and a growing daughter that I want to spend time with and enjoy that time off from work, it was hard to dedicate too much time to YouTube. So I always talk with Mel, if I could build it up enough, there would be a point where I save up enough savings and I just jump in 2 feet, see how it works. And if it doesn't, I go back to work, no problem. And that's where I'm in right now. So the decision was made, work was going great, and things were going good. I was, of course, it's work. I was stressed, the normal work stuff, not an issue. And I was making decent money, but I was saving and saving and saving and saving like crazy. Yeah. And I was doing nothing fancy. I was eating ramen noodles at lunch break, like saving money. I was being super frugal to save up, because a couple streamers on Twitch, I asked about this, and that's how they became full-time. They said you can't just build up your audience doing it part-time. It's you don't have enough fans will not back you. You have to give it that full-time love. And that's how you grow. The more love you put into it, the more YouTube will reward you, the more the fans will be there. And it's true. Like, you hear that a lot, and I'm like, I don't know if that's true, but now I can tell you, yes, it is true. And I noticed it like literally the first week.
Yeah.
So I decided at one point, I talked to my boss. I said, boss, I'm leaving. I talked to HR and I said, I'm taking a mini retirement and I'm stepping away from the IT world, and I'm going to try this full time and just live off my savings. But thankfully to Mel convincing me to do a Patreon, and some fans of the channel saying, Rob, get a Patreon. I need to give you money to help you get doing this. So I did it. I hate asking for money, but I did it, and it helped me get into this quicker. And it's now helped me carry it on. So it's like, it's helping me invest in the channel without ripping through my savings. So that's how I'm able to keep doing this longer. So all your support, I hate asking for it, but I appreciate it more than you guys know. And that is what's letting me do this full time. So yes, you don't see me streaming like a Twitch streamer who does video games where I can stream for 12 hours or 8 hours a day or 3 times a week like that. But I still try to stream as much as I can and do content for the channel. But please understand that I'm doing this full time, but I may not be on, the channel's not live like a 9 to 5, because there's rulebook reading, there's other things that go on in the background. I have to make videos, edit videos for, eRaptor inserts and that kind of thing that I'm doing. And these top 10 lists, man, that took way more work than I expected. Way more work. But yeah, I do spend more than full time probably dedicated to the channel,
for sure,
doing things. I feel like I don't do enough for the channel. But thank you guys for helping me grow it. Thank you for keeping me doing this full time. But if ever it's not, I can't keep doing it, I'll go back to working in IT. That's fine. But for now, it's working out, and this is my full-time job, and Mel's awesome to help me in her free time, and be part of it. But yeah, it's cool. So that's it. Yeah. I was going to do it for 1 year. I started doing it full-time in August, this time last year, actually, around Gen Con. I literally a week before Gen Con told my work I'm going to leave. They asked me to stay for another like 3 weeks or 4 weeks or something, so I did. So I was trying to cut it off at Gen Con and come back from Gen Con starting my new YouTube life. But yeah, jumping into it, it definitely, you guys rewarded me with views and likes and comments, and viewers started showing up to live streams and stuff like right away. It was like, I was super blown away. Like, I was like, check this out, Mel. I actually spend like all day streaming, and like people actually watch now, and they come and they comment. I was like very humbled, like blown away. I thought I was going to try it for like a few months and it would just not be working out. But what I did was saved up enough money so I could do it for 1 full year, whether it worked or it didn't. Right. And I would see the stats, because I know you can't just do it for a week and see what happens. But literally, the end of the first week, I was like, look at the week before when I was doing some stuff, and the week after doing full time, just a little bit more was like it just started growing.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate that, everybody. That's all on you guys. Like, you guys are awesome. Thank you, everyone. Even if you're new here, like, you guys are the driving force behind this. So yes, this is my only job. This is my only job. Let's see here. Let's see. Another one from Kador, or Kador. I'm not sorry if I'm not saying that right. Would you recommend Hostage Negotiator? I've given my thoughts on Hostage Negotiator in my top 10 solo list, kind of give it an overview of it. Here's the thing. It's not for everybody, and it wasn't for me at the beginning. When I looked at the game when it first came out, I've given this story before on the playthrough videos I've done of it. You can see me give this exact same statement. The dice rolling, the randomness turned me off. I avoided Hostage Negotiator like the plague. It was also solo only, and I was like, that's not going to work with my game group. But now I play solo games, so I want to give it a second chance. I saw it at my local game store on the shelf when they opened after the pandemic, and I saw it sitting there for like $15 on sale or $19 Canadian or something like that. Super cheap. I was like, I'll give it a shot for that. I'll go based on just like, even though I think I might not like it, I'll try it. Because the Final Girl is a reskin supposedly of that same system, and everyone's like gaga over that Kickstarter, and I was like, I thought Hostage Negotiator was like a meh game that a lot of people didn't really like. But then I found out Hostage Negotiator has a ton of expansions. People are still loving it. It has successful Kickstarters. People are still into that system, and I went, man, this solo gaming stuff, like, man, I gotta go look at Hostage Negotiator. So I tried it. At first, when I was playing it to get ready for the channel, I was like, the luck of the dice is making me want to lose my mind. But then I tried it again. I started playing with different abductors. I practiced. I tried to figure it out. I tried different card combos. And I realized, man, there is a nuance and strategy to this game. If you're willing to give it the time, it's in this little box game that takes a few minutes to set up, a few minutes to play. And that's a great part. Even if you only got like 5 plays out of it, that's a few hours. You spent $20 or less probably. Maybe $25 most, I think. How much did you spend when you went to the movies last time? If anyone even does that anymore. If you remember what that was like. $25, and if I spend 3 or 4 hours trying to figure out that game, playing a few times, or I use it only for traveling, to me that's worth it.
Yeah.
But it's not for everybody. Watch some playthroughs. Understand it's not just a pure luck dice roller. But keep in mind, if you were designing a game based on a hostage negotiation situation, you had an abductor in a building who had children captured, and they had a gun. Do you think you could call them and 100% predict the outcome of everything you're trying to do in that game? No. In that situation, no. So the luck of the dice is a perfect mechanic for an unpredictable situation. You can plan in that game. You can build up. You can work through multiple turns, coming up with strategy. But yes, you may roll the dice and curse that it didn't happen. You may have gone to college and then universities and learned to become a hostage negotiator, went through FBI training, and you got on site and you were trying to talk down a crazy teacher who's got her students in there, and you might just say the wrong thing. Even though you planned all that planning, you say the wrong thing, a student could die. It could fail. You could lose. Okay? That's real life. Dice, yes, luck in games is annoying sometimes, especially if you can't mitigate it. But you can mitigate it in this game. There is some mitigation, but there is planning. But yes, things can just, based on the roll of a dice, it could fall apart. But like, how else would you design a hostage negotiation game?
Yeah, it makes sense in this theme.
That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
So once I got my head around that, I was like, all right, I get it. I get why they chose to make this a dice game. I get it. You could do card flips too. There is card flips in the game. There is a deck built with randomized stuff flipping off a deck too. So if you don't want random decks and random dice, this game does have that. But there are also, it's a hand building game. If you like, if it's kind of rare. It's not a deck building game. It's a hand building game. Because you don't get to keep the cards you buy. You have to buy them again. So it's very like, judge the situation, make your best call, plan for the long term, plan for the short term, make what you got to do, work your best, and get more dice to roll, and have those cards ready to throw away to change the faces of dice, or whatever you got to do to turn the 4s into successes. Yeah, you got a plan, but your plan could fall apart. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say about that game. That's my rant. Yes, but to some people will see it on the cover, a first look at how the game's being played, you'll be like, this is silly. I don't want to be just rolling dice and failing and rolling dice and failing. But no, that means you didn't plan properly and you didn't buy the right cards to help make those successes happen more often. That's the way I'm gonna say it. And I would have told you not to buy it before I bought it. I would never have promoted that game at all. But now playing it, there are certain people who would love it who probably passed on it like I did. Give it a chance. And I've heard the career expansion, once you have a bunch of abductor packs, the career expansion, which I hope to show on the channel soon, I'm going to try to get to as quick as possible, but it adds a whole campaign thing and adds some extra elements to the game, and also helps with the dice mitigation that supposedly puts the game up to the next level. And I'll let you know if that's true or not when I play it, but I've heard this, so I'm excited. I have it. I'm just working my way through the content so that I can give you like a final, like, when it's all said and done, what I would tell you if you're going to try it to buy. But right now, based on what I've played, I would just buy the little $20 box, the little starter one. Makes a great travel game. Buy that. It's got 3 abductors in there, and it's got a bunch of cards, and it's got the whole system. It's nice and tiny, nice and cheap. If you don't like it, give it to somebody else.
Yeah.
Sell it. Just put it on your shelf. Throw it in the garbage, whatever you want. Like, you'll get a few plays out of it. You'll know if you like it or not. It's a game that's so cheap, I would try it and see if you like it. But there's YouTube out there I've heard of that you can watch playthroughs on, and you could see if it might be for you based on that. So, and read some reviews. Go to Board Game Geek. See some people's ratings and reviews and stuff. That might help you too. C4 says, it was nice to hear backstory. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people don't know that as well, right? If they're newer to the channel.
Yeah, I try not to like sell it. I don't want to be like begging for money. Like, guys, I don't have my job anymore. Please donate to me. I'm like, I am not about that. Like, if you guys don't want to donate, just come and hang out in streams. And I'll say it again, Patreons. If you're a Patreon to this channel and you just want to donate $5 and then leave and only donate, I'm not doing the subscription system. That's Patreon. So if you just feel like, Rob, you do a great job, I want to give you a couple dollars. You do a Patreon thing, but then just cancel after a month. I'm cool. I won't be mad at you. Come hang out and stream still. It's do whatever. That's just the system I used because it was what was at the time. Speaking of,
I can't see that on here.
Paul, thank you so much for becoming a producer of Rob's Gaming Table.
Thank you, Paul.
This is awkward. No, I'm just joking. As I say this, cancel, do whatever. It's like, here he is. All right. Paul, thank you so much for becoming a producer. Make sure you connect if you're on the producer tier. Connect your...
he did.
Oh, he's in the Discord already?
Yep, we're good. He's there.
For sure?
Well, this is...
Dead Jin?
Yep, was like a minute ago.
If it is, Paul, change your if to match your YouTube name or something, you can change your nickname on each server on Discord. Just like right click on your thing, see if you can change your nickname and match your YouTube, so we know when you're in a chat and stuff, we know who it is on Discord and vice versa, or on Patreon or whatever. But yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. We appreciate all the support from everyone. You guys are so generous and so sweet.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
But I like just you guys hanging out in streams and stuff. Like that kind of support is awesome. Watching the videos, like. Don't feel like you need to.
This is why we like to play live. We like to play with you guys watching, and I know we hear from some of you that you can't watch live and it's sad, and we wish we could play in every time zone, I know, but we love playing live with you guys.
Mutton Chop asks, why didn't Mage Knight make your top 10 solo games? Is that a joke?
I don't know.
I'm not going to spoil anything, but did you watch the right video? Okay, anyways.
Yep, no spoilers.
Oh, maybe you mean why didn't it make your top 10 games list? I made back in April a top 10 games of all time list because people were asking, so I thought I'd do it. But remember, at that time, I hadn't played Mage Knight yet. I hadn't played Seventh Continent seriously yet. If that's what I'm assuming Mutton Chop's talking about is my top 10 list I did in April, which I will update later this year. I'm going to do that every year. I'm going to do a top 10 games of all time. Solo or anything. Like, I'm just going to give my top 10 list. But I'll keep my top 10 solo game list updated too as I try new games and stuff.
It'll be like a yearly thing that you'll do?
Yes. But Mage Knight was not in my top 10 games of all time list. Oh, okay. Mutton Chop, yeah.
Oh, okay,
I thought so. That's all good. But yes, if I had played Mage Knight a few times before I did that list, it would have made my all-time games list. So watch later this year. I'll probably do it around December. And kind of make that my yearly time to do it. But I just started doing it in April when we hit that goal, so that's why I did it then. Uh-oh, George is here. All right, that's it for the stream then, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Glad to catch some of this live. Nice. George, if you have any questions, throw them in the chat.
Yes, we're in the middle of a Q&A, George. Actually, we're wrapping it up in the next, 10-ish minutes, probably. So if you have any questions, those who just joined, or have any questions you just thought of or want to ask based on other things we're talking about, drop them in the chat. We'll try to answer them, and this is just our casual. We'll do this once a month at least, where we'll just give a channel update. We'll discuss things you guys want to talk about, things that we don't want to interrupt the live stream and go off on tangents. I mean, I'll still do that, but I'm trying to do that less. So people watching those playthroughs can watch the game, talk about that game, stay on topic as much as we can. This is more of a like, let's ask them stuff that, later that we don't want to interrupt streams with.
Or some of it's generic, right? That you just want to know.
Matt says, I should make my list of top 10 reasons top 10 lists suck. Yes.
I'd watch it.
I would watch that. And yes, it sucks making a top 10 list. I hate ranking games. I feel bad. I can only fit 10 games on the list. I could make it the top 10 or the top 20 or top 100 or whatever. But it's hard because I haven't played all the games everyone else has played. So I'm pulling from a different list and I might have different criteria. So yes, it's not apples and oranges for top 10 lists and that kind of thing. So it is kind of weird. The only reason I did it, and why I'll do it and continue to do it, people have asked me about it lots of times, and there are people who are interested in my opinion, and there are people that just like numbers and like stats and like ranking stuff. I like that too. I like seeing things ranked. But I don't judge things based on that. But that will help me direct my research sometimes. Is if I see someone who I respect, they have the same tastes as me, similar, and then they do a top 10 list, I might see it and might cherry pick some games off there to go research and look into based on that.
Or if they're on multiple lists and you kind of keep hearing the name a lot, you're like, okay, maybe it's a game I should look into.
The one on the list I like that I found out about last year was the whole the Board Game Geek Solo Gamers Guild top 200 list they do every year, where like over 500 people vote on solo games, and then Kevin Erskine, who we see in chat sometimes and comments on our videos, he puts together that list. And I'm sorry if I said your last name wrong. I'm pretty sure it's Kevin, but yes, he puts together a list and post it on Board Game Geek, and you can scroll through it, and that helps me find games. If 500 to 600 people are all saying that this game is good enough that they all put it very high on their list, that it bumped it up in the top, like even 100 or top 10 or top 20, that makes me go, all right, even though I don't know all 500 to 600 of these people, if that many people liked it, there's got to be a reason I should at least look into it. Sir Han asks a good one. In your experience, what are your recommended games or types of games to introduce someone new to modern gaming?
That's a great question.
The classics you always hear that a lot of people got pulled into the hobby with are games that you can find on, even in Target and Walmart shelves now and big box stores, is games like Ticket to Ride, Settlers of Catan, or Catan as it's now known. But yeah, I don't know. It depends on the group. So if I try to judge a player based on anything they've played and things they're interested in. Alan just became a patron. I'm assuming doing the annual membership now that we know when we see $51 pop up. It's not you can now on Patreon do annual memberships, which I turned on. I got harassed by Patreon to turn it on because it's a feature now. So if you want to do pick a tier and pledge for a year, you can do that now supposedly. So Alan's now our second person to do that. So yeah,
Wow.
Thank you so much for that. You guys are jerks. Here's the other problem. Here's the other problem I realized because of this.
It's not a bad problem.
It's a serious problem. Okay. We have goals on Patreon, and I made those goals with the assumption that as we get patrons of like $1 and $2 and $3 and $5 and $10 and that kind of stuff, these goals we'd slowly creep up to them. But because of these yearly memberships now, it's like a one-time injection that blows past that goal. But then what happens the next month when that person's paid for a year? I don't know. Does it all drop back down and we don't have the goal? I don't know. I'm not sure.
We're gonna find out.
We'll figure that out.
Either way,
We hit a goal.
We hit my painting stream goal.
Yeah.
So it's happening, everyone.
I would assume this is gonna stay like that. We'll see. But
yeah.
I just don't know if Patreon will be like, now you're not at the goal. Now
That's
you're
okay.
at the goal. Now you're
That's
not
okay.
at the
We've
goal.
hit the goal, so we'll start making the
We'll do
videos,
it.
and
We'll
it's
do
fine.
it. Yep.
Once
Thank you
you've
so
hit
much,
it.
Alan.
If we
Thank
go
you.
below, it's no problem. But that's amazing. Thank you so much for the support.
Yes, thank you, Alan.
Wow.
Let's see here.
Now I need to start actually thinking about my painting stream.
So back to Sir Han's question.
Yes.
Games I would recommend are very specific to the player. So there are certain people's wives and friends and kids and all this and family members that I pick certain games that I use to introduce people. And now that I've been in modern gaming for like 8 years, there are certain games that I would use. So a game I bring to family occasions to pull people into the hobby, it's kind of a weird one that you guys might not think of. and I'm pretty sure it's still in print. I think they just did a recent Kickstarter for an expansion. Is a game called Lords of Vegas,
Yes.
which you mentioned already today.
Yes.
I don't know who makes it, I forget, but it's Lords of Vegas. It is the game, I would say, that you'd play and never play Monopoly again. And I think a review I watched, like Shut Up and Sit Down or something, was the original ones I saw that on. And they said, this is a game you would never play Monopoly again if you own this game. And I went, I don't like Monopoly, but I know a lot of people do. And it's a game, a lot of people, if you mention board gaming, it's the only board game they know. That or Risk or Clue. So I thought, it's a game about in Vegas being like a casino company kind of thing, trying to build up casinos. You can take over other people's casinos. You're trying to buy property on the strip, gamble a little bit and stuff in it. It's fun. It's very fun.
Maybe it's something we should play on the channel just to
We will.
have a video of it when we talk about it.
It's a game I always bring to family functions. At Christmas
Yeah.
time, I bring it to family functions, and I play it with people who don't even like to board game.
Yeah.
I will convince somebody that's played games at our house and says, I don't want to ever play board games again. They'd make my head hurt. I will still convince them and trick them into joining us at the table and playing a game of Lords of Vegas and watching them smile and love it after every time. So I will bring it out every year around Christmas time. I'll bring it to people's houses and I play it with older people, younger people, non-gamers, hardcore gamers, whatever. That's the game that I use personally that I've noticed has been the best recepted game that I've brought around that's like that.
And I wonder if that's because the people can pull from games like Monopoly and
Yes,
they kind of feel like, okay, this is kind of like what I know.
And that's what I think of it as. Like, this is like, you've probably played Monopoly at some point in your life. This
Yeah.
is an economic kind of like more fun version of that.
Yeah.
It's like was designed more recent, not in like the 30s or something. So like game design has evolved, and Lords of Vegas is light enough, but I still have fun playing it, even though it's not like a 50-page rule book.
There's no one, it didn't bing there. Or
C4, thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much for becoming a supporter.
Wow. Oh,
our
because it's a
producer.
different picture. That's why. It's the Napoleon Dynamite dancing
But it still
guy.
should ding.
Yeah, it still should ding, but I just thought it was black. I was like, why is there no picture there? But okay. Thank you so
C4,
much.
thank you
Oh
so
my
much.
gosh. Oh
If
my
you're here
gosh.
still, right. There he is. Yeah, I see. Or
Okay.
she. Sorry. C4.
So everybody that is new, make sure that you also get into the Discord if you have not. Oh, we have a few more. Oh, C4's there. Okay. Oh, and Time
C4's
Slayer's there. Okay, perfect. Okay.
Awesome.
So everyone is there.
So C4 says, it's also part of your appeal. Genuine. You and Mel are great to watch. I wandered in here because the random Hexplorer videos posted to BGG.
Oh, that is
that's
awesome.
Cool. I always wonder how some people find the channel. I
Yeah.
never know.
That's awesome.
I never know. I just see people show up and start hanging out in streams, and I'm like, I don't know if you're here just because of this game or if you're hanging out for a while, you're going to stay around. It's all good either way. But
Yeah, because you wonder if some people are just kind of silently just in the background watching,
Oh,
and
that's
then
okay,
finally
too.
they start commenting.
Yeah, lurk
on
all
things.
you want. Lurk-
yeah, so
lurk
you
is
lurk
great.
or comment, but we love to chat with you. So say hi when you're here. Let us know. Yeah, that's cool to know where you came from or how you found us.
That's cool. Yeah, Hexplorer is one that needs more eyeballs on
Yes,
that game.
that is a
That's
fun
like
game.
an underrated game. No one knows that. Jonathan over there at Mariucci Day Designs, I don't know if he just doesn't know how to market his game, but it's like, or doesn't know how to present
Small
it or something.
team, right? So
Yeah, I wish that game had more voices showing it off. It may not be for everybody, but I feel like it's a game, like every time I talk about it, people are like, what? Never heard of it. Where does this game come from? But I'm like, he's had multiple Kickstarters. How does nobody know about this game? That's weird. But yeah, maybe the next one will get more light on it as he does each one in that series. Maybe it'll grow and people will realize. But yeah, it's cool.
Oh, just funny here. Just reading, like this is way down there, but Kate's saying that Kate's been
I can bring
lurking
it up.
since the AGOT LCG days. Wow.
Where?
Is that the yeah?
Ah.
Wow, Kate, that's great.
So that game is the whole reason I started the channel.
Yeah.
Game of Thrones, the living card
Yep.
game, is the whole reason I started buying cameras and wanting to do YouTube, was to show that game off because I knew the show was popular. That got me looking for Game of Thrones stuff to get into, to dive more in the series. I learned about the books, learned about the board game. I played the board game, and in the board game was advertisements for the card game. Then I got the card game. I even got the HBO version of the card game, and I started teaching players this card game. And I've always avoided Magic the Gathering and those kind of games, but this game I was like, I just got into it because of the theme. And I love that game so much, and I traveled for it. I went to all different cities and countries and provinces to play that game and met so many awesome people. And I was like, I need to play this on YouTube. I want more people to find content. And I was watching people do very crappy videos playing that game, and I was like, no, I want to play this game and show it off nice so you can see the art. I want to go to tournaments. I want to show high level play of it. And that drove me to get the stuff, to bring cameras to tournaments, and get to doing the whole YouTube thing. Was that game. But when I started to do that, they announced the reboot. So then I started playing Warhammer Conquest LCG, and that was actually a game I started showing more on the channel at the beginning because I was waiting for second edition to drop before I put it on the channel. And Kate says that's a game that really propelled you into board games. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
But Game of Thrones is a board game propelled me into card games. Like it's weird. This is cool. Like I love hearing people's stories of the game that started it all for them.
Yeah.
But for us, it was Game of Thrones, the board game started it all, and then this was the first card game, and this card game got me starting YouTube. I would say that was my motivation because I was like, I love listening to Game of Thrones card game podcasts. I love watching Game of Thrones YouTube channels, but there was not enough of it. And I also like watching board game playthroughs too. That's why I didn't name my channel based around any single game or card games or anything like that. Because in my back of my head, I always wanted to show people the hobby in general. So that's why I kept it generic. Like, join me at Rob's gaming table. Come pull up a chair at my table and come. I want to show you this cool game you might not know about, or this cool hobby you might not know about. And that's where I started. But yeah, that was the game that drove me to be like, man, I want to watch more Game of Thrones, the card game content. And then nobody's doing it is right, and nobody's posting enough of it, and I want more of it. So I will just make it myself, and I'll watch my own damn videos if I have to. That's what started me. That was my motivation originally in the beginning. And John says a BGG video is how I found you. That's awesome. I do see there's like something on some videos. I don't share all my videos on Board Game Geek, but I should. But when I share a video over there, I'll notice sometimes like 17, somewhere in there, % will come from, I can see the stat in the background sometimes. But just be curious, like, why'd this video get like higher views? And I'll look and I'm like, oh, okay, 15% of them came from Board Game Geek. That's neat. So it's like they must have an active community hitting that page over there to click through. And I think that's cool. That's neat. And I know some people come from there to the channel. That's cool.
Yeah, so also I guess if you guys are in these groups or Facebook groups, feel free to share any of the videos if you think people will like the content and may want to also join.
Sorry, Sakabra, I'm just looking for your question. Oh, there it is. I see it. So Sakabra asks, question, I know a lot of cams overheat with dummy battery plugged in. What camera/lens do you use? I will give you the tip that in my research learning about that, there are companies that have that issue. And I was very specific. I didn't go based on people's reviews, but the one I'm using, like I use a GoPro. I use a mix of like GoPro I've used, webcams, Logitech webcams, Microsoft webcams, Canon video cameras, Canon digital cameras. But from what I've read, Canon cameras in general are the ones with the no overheating issues. In general. Okay. Maybe some models do. And I don't remember any models off the top of my head right now. I'm bad for that. I'm super sorry. But yes, Canons are, every time I hear is like there's always models of Canons. But I think it's like Sony's and Panasonics are like bad for overheating maybe. But I might be forgetting that. But I remember doing research like a year ago very heavily. Every time I research a new camera, I start looking through forums and trying to find anyone complaining about that. I don't always trust reviewers, because someone reviewing the product on YouTube might have only used the camera for half an hour to make a video and throw it in the garbage and do the next one.
Yeah. So
I don't trust that they've put it through the live streaming paces. But yeah, I would research Canons. And it's hard to do a specific camera, and I will never tell you my specific cameras usually, because budget and that kind of thing, and also the secret sauce mentality I have. I'm afraid to recommend technology that costs like $1,000 to you, and then you go and buy it and it doesn't do what you want, or it doesn't look properly because maybe you're missing a piece of the secret sauce formula I try to perfect. So I don't want to become a channel where I'm like all about recommending technology and that kind of stuff. There's lots of channels on Twitch and YouTube that focus on that, and that's not where I want to go with this. I'm not a pro with it. I try my best, and I don't want to recommend things that are that expensive. I don't mind recommending a $50 board game, but that I've spent hours and hours with. But yeah, I avoid that as much as I can, Sakabra. Yeah. Let's see here. Also, sometimes I buy equipment based on what's available in Canada. And I know US, you guys are lucky. You have way more options on Amazon for way better prices and are way easier to get a hold of. I know, Sakabra, you're Canadian too, but I get asked a lot by Americans as like, why didn't you use this or why didn't you use that? It's like, I don't have access. They don't sell that camera or that thing in my country.
Yeah.
And I don't want to import it. And I see people online from Europe having the same issue sometimes too. Even though we're attached to the U.S. by a border, it's like, man, our Amazon is not as cool as U.S.'s Amazon, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Spencer asked, have you guys played Star Wars Rebellion? Hell yeah.
Yep.
We have a playthrough on the channel from a few years back, playing when the expansion came out. Yeah, we did like our War of the Ring, big epic game where we played through, we practiced it a few times and played it on the stream on the channel. And we could play it again in the future.
Yep.
It was a fun game, but it feels very like War of the Ring, but space, which is cool. Okay, I'll look for our last couple questions here if I can scroll down.
I think these are. I think these are like people talking about how they found us,
I'm just
which
reading
is
them because
awesome.
maybe there's follow-up stuff that we can ask. Timestar says, I found your channel through the link from the Kickstarter of Uthia. The game didn't interest me, but I still stayed to watch the whole playthrough.
Oh, that is so sweet.
That's awesome. And
That's
then
such a fun
saw
game.
your plays of this War of Mine, etc.
Oh, yeah. Swear mine. Good game.
I'm looking forward to Uthia when they finish that project. I see them posting on Facebook about that game, adding stuff to it, all the stretch goals. Like I said, I tried to ignore it after we did the videos. So I don't want to hear updates. I don't want to hear delays. I don't want to hear anything about it. But I hope that we can get a hold of a final copy and try it out on the channel. I'm super curious. Like, we gave them feedback from our playthroughs behind the scenes. Yep. I was very honest with them about certain things of their game and their rule book and stuff. And hopefully other people were who played the game. And hopefully the fans and the Kickstarter backers gave them good advice too. But I see they're doing some good stuff on Facebook. I check every now and then. And I'm super excited to see what comes crammed in that box that was already 15 pounds for a prototype. I don't even know what it's going to be like coming in the end. Like, it's crazy. And it's not a box full of miniatures. And it still weighed like 15 pounds, which was crazy. Crazy.
So BitJam here is talking about, I didn't know this was even a thing. Hi, BitJam. At the bottom, the very last one. I didn't know that you can actually subscribe to a user on BGG.
I didn't know that was a thing. Oh, so every time I post a video on Board Game Geek, BitJam, you know? That's cool.
I didn't know that was a thing.
That's why I don't post there that often. I thought I would just be putting them in games, and then like there's so many videos posted within a single game, they just get all bumped down and lost in the mix. So that's why I don't do it that often. But that's interesting. That's a cool one.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
But BitJam, if you do on YouTube, you can hit the notification so that you'll actually get notified on YouTube too. So then you can join in live streams.
Yogi Bear says you can subscribe to anything.
I guess that's that is
probably true.
Yep, that is true.
And Walk Steady. Whoops. You're my favorite YouTuber. Thanks for sharing your passion.
Aww.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for sharing your time with us. I appreciate it.
That is very nice.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. Thank you for the kind words. And Kanji asking every week. Kanji, I was going to schedule I did schedule actually a lunchtime stream this week for the Hostage Negotiator, but then everyone let me know that Chip Theory Games was announcing something new at UK Games Expo online, so I immediately changed my schedule just to do that on Friday. But yes, I have one scheduled for Monday, noon. We're playing Hostage Negotiator. I'll probably schedule a few more during the week once we figure out what we're doing for Mel's painting stream, which night and stuff.
Yep.
And our Root playthrough, I want to schedule around that to make sure I can set up for those streams. Because, for example, for Root, because we're playing 4-player, I have to like move cameras and lights and the table around and change things up to film for 4 players. And I have to plug in extra cameras and stuff. So it takes a bit of work to do that for the afternoon. And I don't want to leave myself like an hour to try to do that in. I'm kind of like an anal perfectionist sometimes with that stuff. So I like to have some time to relax and do it, try to get it as best as I can in the time I have. But some of those days, like the painting stream, I want to take some time to try to set it up with Mel and do like a little practice and get it all working first. But I will probably play it at least 2 times, maybe 3 times this week, do lunchtime streams, which for us, we're on the East Coast. For Kanji's Eastern time is not on East Coast, but like Eastern time zone is noon Eastern he's talking about. So I'll get back to doing more noon Eastern streams But yeah, I'll do that more when this week for sure. But
Oh, people are saying that they're not getting the YouTube notifications anymore. That is terrible. They make the system that then doesn't work once they do an update.
Interesting. John, they're not going to your spam, maybe? I know they've had bad things with notifications. Maybe they changed the privacy policy where now you have to like approve something. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll have to look into this.
I don't have any of that stuff on for any YouTubers because I spend so much time on YouTube. I open up YouTube just to start streaming and to schedule streams and stuff. So I don't subscribe. I subscribe to tons of channels, but I never turn on that bell to know any of that stuff because I would just get spammed like crazy, and I already get spammed from so many social media platforms. So what I do for YouTube, just because I'm on it all day for work, I will just see my subscription feed, and I check YouTube multiple times a day. So I have no need for that. But if I see, what I do that. If I see a live stream I'm interested in pop up in my subscriptions, I will hit the set reminder button.
Yeah.
And I do get emails and notifications for that. On my phone, you have to turn it on, I think, in the app to let the app on your mobile devices notify you.
Oh, to like push notifications to you, yeah.
Yeah, to push notifications. I think that's off by default now. I could be wrong, though.
Oh, John's saying YouTube announced no more emails. Okay, so it is just notifications through your phone.
Oh.
Yeah, because I still get them on my phone.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that, John. Okay.
But yeah, I think setting reminders
Yeah, so Dragon's saying look at notifications on YouTube but not emails. Okay, that makes sense. They probably just were finding that a lot of people were just not seeing them because they maybe were getting caught in spam, or they were just getting ignored because it'd be so many emails and everyone already has so many emails usually, right? So it's a lot to look through.
John B says your live streams are extremely professional. Aw.
I don't know how professional, but I try. Thank you, John. That means a lot. I thought you might have previously worked in weather. No, I don't. No, I just I've always, even in like back in high school, I took courses in like media and then film production and editing and stuff because we had choices of what we wanted to go into. So that was what I chose because I didn't want to take like music anymore or anything like that. So I was like, I want to do stuff with technology. So in high school, I starting from like grade 10, I think, till 12 or 13, whatever at the time I was in. I started taking computer courses, anything related to technology. But these media courses, there was a course I took was just like the major projects were like editing video and filming things and playing with special effects back on old Apple computers in the 90s. And we played with green screens. I was playing with green screens back when I was like 15 years old at school for projects and stuff. And not to toot my own horn, but my group's project that I edited, I scripted, and worked with a group of 3 other people who did not have the passion I had. I rallied these 3 people and made such a good video. My brothers and sisters, who were a few years younger than me, as they were going through that same class, they were using my project to show off at the start of the year what kind of cool things you could have at the end of the year if you put the work and effort into it. So I was getting emails from this teacher, even when I was in college, letting me know, like, I was one of the students that, like, he still uses to teach students with my work that I did in that class. So nowadays I forget about that, but you just reminded me of that, talking about my experience. And I blanked that out. I forgot I did all that in school, but I was thinking the other day about, like, why do I even care about this stuff? It's not what I went to college for. It's nothing what I learned to do. I just like, it's a passionate thing. I just like had fun. It got my mind working in high school. And I kind of wish I went into this stuff in college, but I went into the geeky programming and business side of like computers and software engineering and stuff. And then I took project management courses and business analyst courses and stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I just always take a professional thing. I've worked in like offices and stuff like that. And I've done I took presentation courses actually in college. And in my my college presentation course, I did get the best mark in the whole class. And it was funny, I walked in and just blew it away and didn't really do any of my work outside of the class. So my report wasn't the best, but my presentation, I got the highest like presentation marks in that course because I could just walk in front of people and just talk and present. I'm an introvert, but introverts are known to be able to talk in front of a crowd, no problem. But in a social situation surrounded by people, small talk, I struggle with that stuff. That's something that's like I'm not wired to do that well, and that's maybe why I come across like professional sort of on camera, and maybe not so much if you meet me at a convention and we talk. We'll see. But yeah. But yeah, I try to just be professional. I put myself on camera. I put myself out there. I'm trying to like show you that I'm taking this as serious as I can. Still have fun with it, of course. But you're spending your time with me. Some of you guys are putting your money behind me. And I appreciate that, as small or as big as whatever, any of it. You give me $1, I'm going to feel like I need to take it serious. And that definitely, I feel that every day. I have this pressure I put on myself based on that. And I feel that. Dragon says, I'm the same, Rob. I can speak to a crowd, but I'm in the corner at a party. Dragon, exactly. That's exactly what I'm like. I always have to be like near the door in the corner. I didn't know about introverts until like maybe like 10 years ago. I realized I watched a video about it, and then I started reading about it one time, and I was like, holy crap. This like summarizes everything going on in my head. Like I didn't know that was a thing. But yeah, that's it. Yeah, wow. And BitJam, thank you. I like the kind words. But yeah, I did not work in weather. The green screen stuff, it was practice. I researched and practiced, and I did live streams privately, practicing as best I could and researching. I spent many hundreds of hours. Anything I do on the channel, I dedicate many hours off the channel learning and learning and learning. I'll spend mornings just watching videos and reading articles online and watching photography stuff and videography stuff, and trying to learn as best I can from others. And then I experiment. Some days I'm not streaming. I'll be down here still doing a private stream just to myself, trying things out and practicing and testing. So I think that's maybe what shows and what's behind it. But I'm not a photographer. I don't have a background that. I never worked in that field or anything like that. And obviously I have a lot of improvement I can do. But I do appreciate the kind words. I try my best with what I have. Need a stream on how to stream? I don't know about that.
Sometimes you can't give away the tips, right?
Yeah, it's secret sauce, man.
Yeah.
I gotta keep it as best. And I'm always changing and always trying to improve stuff. So you guys have noticed, if you go back and watch videos on the channel, you'll see all of a sudden where I'm streaming the same stuff, but the camera might look different. Because I'm like secretly always like investigating in lighting and videos and microphones and audio mixers and all this stuff. I get super fascinated in technology, period. So this stuff, like, I love it. And my stream Yogi Bear. I love it. I've met those guys. I've met a lot of those guys in person.
Yeah.
Actually, there's a gentleman that you'll see sometimes in FFG. He's their like head media guy. I'm pretty sure he's still there. His name is Ryan. I've actually played Game of Thrones, the board game, with him. And I've met him in person. And I went down to Worlds one time and I chatted with him. He actually let me go behind the scenes at the World stream, behind the curtain, and gave me a whole tour of everything they use for streaming. He was so kind. So kind. He is a super professional, super amazing. I forget his last name.
Ryan Ritter?
No.
Sorry.
I'm pretty sure. No, not Ryan Ritter. Ryan just started working there, right? Like in the
Oh,
last
yeah,
year
yeah.
or two.
I'm just trying to think of the other
I'm
Ryans
pretty
I
sure
know
it's
that work
Ryan.
there.
Maybe it's not Ryan. Maybe I'm confused now. But anyways, he's a super nice guy. You'll always see him at Gen Con, like he's filming and stuff for FFG, making their videos and running all their technology stuff. But yeah, Worlds, I went up to him one time when he was just like trying to figure out something and troubleshoot, and I went, hey. And he's like, oh, hey, Rob, how's it going? And I was just like, what are you doing? And he's like, trying to figure out this. And I'm like, oh, let me try to help you. And we started talking, and then I was like, I have a question. How you do this and how do you do that? And he just brought me behind the curtain and was like, here's what I connect. Here's what I hate. I used to use this and I hate these and I don't buy these cameras and these are the cables I use and not these ones. So I have a lot of respect for those guys. It's a lot of work to do what they do, obviously. So I'm not going to make fun of. And yes, their stream went down when we were streaming it. It was kind of funny. But I felt bad for them.
Yeah.
I get super stressed doing it. I can only imagine when your CEO or whatever is sitting on the camera and you're messing up and your stream isn't going live. Like, I was joking about somebody getting fired, but I'm sure somebody probably got in trouble, like, big time for that. Like, everyone who planned that, everyone who ran it, everything was not tested properly. There was some work that was shortcutted there. And I feel bad for those people who were behind that.
Yeah.
Because I know it's not easy, and I appreciate that. But it is funny that it did go down. Like, you can laugh at it. They laughed at it. They made fun of it. But,
But things are going to happen.
Yeah, it's live streaming.
Yeah,
Things
and
will
live
always go
streams,
wrong.
yeah, things, yeah.
So Mutton Chop asks, how much your budget do you dedicate to technology? Here's the
question.
thing. Here's the thing. It's not percentages. I haven't figured out a perfect percentages to the whole. Yes, Ryan Thompson. Yes, Yogi Bear. It's Ryan Thompson. That's who it is. Super awesome guy. That guy is the coolest dude. If you can play a board game with him, he'll play FFG games with you if he has a minute. He is awesome. He's super fun to play games with. Yeah, we went down one time to like Days of Ice and Fire to play Game of Thrones, a board game there. And yeah, he was just there chilling for the weekend and was playing with it. Was so fun. He's such a cool guy. Yeah, super nice guy, super friendly. Tons of respect to him. Yeah, I would love his job, to be honest. Yeah, that would be, now doing this, that would be like kind of like, if I had to go work for a company, I would like love to go work for like Chip Theory or Fantasy Flight Games, just running their live streams and stuff. That would be fun. And maybe not be on camera as much and be more behind the scenes technology stuff, because that's really that stuff I love. I find that very fascinating stuff. But the budget dedicated to technology, budget's different every month because Patreon numbers change, YouTube ad revenue changes. Yeah, sometimes I just want, and also the games I want to get on the channel might cost more or less that month, or certain games came out I have to add in. So I prioritize board games, but if I have money left over, sometimes if we notice I have some left over and things are going good, all our finances are fine and everything, and investments are looking okay, I will save some of it, and then every month I'll kind of look at how much is kind of there, and then I make an educated decision on where to invest that money in the channel. So right now I want to improve some of my lighting. There's some lights I'm kind of interested in. So I want to replace one of my lights, is kind of like not working as well as it used to. We've been using them for like 6 years.
Yeah.
6 years. Some of these lights have been going for 6 years. The technology's improved. I want to invest in some new lighting technology and try some things out, but I need to do more research there. But from the prices I've looked at of some of the things I want to get, it depends on the cost. So I will just delay it and save up and delay it and save up and buy it when basically I have the money or the price is right or things are on sale or that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But like, for example, the camera, my last camera I bought, I've been wanting this camera for like 3 years, and I saved, but never I could justify the big investment on a camera and some lenses when I wanted to buy board games and keep the content flowing. Because it's not about the cameras, in my opinion, it's about the content. So I always prioritize the content over the method to get the content on there. But yeah. So for example, chairs. Us having the chairs to actually be able to play longer without hurting and be able to do streams back-to-back days and stuff, that was that to me was more important than buying some more lapel mics or something, for example, or that kind of thing. That even like, and that was like, let's do it as a Patreon goal to help get that. So, and a muffin chair. Yes, we need a muffin chair.
Yeah. We've been looking at them.
Yeah, we were looking.
Yeah.
Some of them are showing back up in stock in Canada on Amazon. Some of the ones we were interested in before. There's more options showing up, and the prices are starting to come back to normal. But I'm assuming I'll give it another month or two, and then we'll grab one for Kyle.
We also do a lot of
And
research
Justin.
on things, so things take longer for us to
Yeah,
get.
we're not impulse buyers.
No.
We don't like, oh yeah, like I needed, my light's breaking, let's buy one tomorrow. Like, no, I'll make it work with what we have, and we'll take our time, and we'll keep an eye. I'll put some things on my wish list. Sometimes it'll go on sale. Amazon will send me a message. This tripod's on sale you've been looking at for the last 6 months, and then I'll add it if it's worth it. I'm kind of like trying to be frugal with this stuff, and not break the bank.
Yeah. That's why we improve slowly, right?
And stay out of debt.
Yeah.
Stay out of debt, everybody.
Yeah, we don't do debt.
Yeah. I no FOMO here. No, like, just throw it on a credit card. We try to avoid that as much as possible.
Yeah.
Unless you're getting points for it and then paying it off right away.
Yeah, I do that.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Jack has a question there if you have time for that one. Up a little bit right there.
Where?
Right there. Yep.
Jack, I'm quite new to the channel. You're still just as welcome.
Yes.
How do you decide on what games to be live streaming? Number one is based on what I want to put on the channel. It's Rob's Gaming Table. It's basically, if I'm interested and I want to play it, I will show it off. I will have fun with it. And if I've done the research properly, also, if a company has sent us a game, but usually I've looked into that game, I've said yes to taking that game, because like I said before, I do say no to lots of games. Like, I will get offered prototypes, I will get offered review copies of games, and I'm picky and choosy with it, probably to the point where some companies won't send me games anymore. I'm okay with that. I'll buy the games if they're that good. Lauren, thank you for subscribing. But yeah, I will decide based on that whether I want to play it. And then the next thing that drives it is you guys. So what happens is in a live stream or in our Discord or in the comments or in messages on email, Facebook, wherever, Twitter comments, whatever, you guys will recommend games to me based on games I'm playing or games that I like. People will come in like John B, who just left. Thank you, John.
Thanks, John.
Has recommended recently Gaia Project based on all the games I'm playing. He realizes like, hey, if he likes all these games and John likes this game, John I value very highly. I see what games he likes and I would value what he says. George A, who hangs out sometimes in the chat, who was here earlier and might not still be here. He likes a lot of the games I like, which we've learned by him joining streams and us discussing stuff behind the scenes. We like a lot of the same games, the same publishers. So he's recommended games to me recently. Like one is Street Masters, which is not an easily findable game, which I've learned. I reached out to Blacklist Games. They know about our channel now. Maybe we can get one of those games on the channel in the future. We'll see. But yeah, you guys recommending games now is like what gets on a list, and then I'll do the research. And if I like a game, it's pulled me enough after doing some research, or I'm interested enough, and I'll take the time to learn it. I'll play with some players, I'll teach some players, and I'll get it on the channel. So that's my process right now. There's not too much of a structure to it. So if you have a game you think I might be interested in, or go watch my top 10 solo list, or my top 10 games of all time. If there's a game in there you're like, damn, Rob, you like this game, and this game. How come this game didn't make the list? Maybe I have played it. Maybe I haven't. Maybe I don't even know it exists.
Yeah.
But if you see those games I like and you're like, maybe you should try this game, recommend it. I'll research, I'll look into it. And I'll show Mel, I'll show our other players, and I'll see. That's how I decide now. That's how I pick. And it doesn't have to be the new hotness. It doesn't have to be new. And we got a good recommendation here. This game, I've never heard of this game. But I'll do some research on it, Dragon. And like, for example, Dragon recommended this game called Candyland, which I'm sure is an epic legacy game with a 50-page rule book that has a super challenging co-op mode, I'm sure. And we'll look into it. And if it's that kind of game, we'll get it on the channel and we'll play through it. No, I'm just kidding. I had Candyland, the Disney Princess version I bought for my daughter when we were younger.
Yep. Not when we were younger, when she was younger.
When she was younger.
Well, maybe we were younger than you.
But by then, I'd already been bringing home games from like Gen Con and playing good games with her.
Yeah.
The fact that she played it, we bought it at a local game store. She played it, and it didn't even impress her, and she didn't really care to play it. She wanted to just play with the dolls from it and didn't care about the game. That's when I realized, like, that's how bad of a game that game is.
Yeah.
So when it didn't even hold my daughter's attention. Like, she was just like, eh.
Yeah, very true.
That was cool.
Yeah, very true.
Philip Yu says, would you back a fancy board game table? We have a board game table. We have the Duchess from BoardGameTables.com. It was one of the first ones to hit Kickstarter to be a value level board game table without lots of customization. That's what we use. I would love a second table, but that is a big cost that I don't need a second table. We have other tables we play on. We don't need a nice board game table. But on one day, I would love in the future, if this hobby earned enough money, I would love to save up and get like a bigger table that has more table space, can fit more players around it, has more customizable things I can attach to it, like little things to put my laptops on, and books and rule books beside me on little things and that. We just use like little carts. I would love a big ass table like that, like a nice rich looking real wood, like classy looking table. I would love it, but that's in the future. That's like a nice to have, not a need. This does us what we need.
And I like this table.
I love this table.
Yeah, I really like it.
Played a lot of great games on this table, and it's still kicking. And yes, it's got dents and scratches on it from moving.
But whose table doesn't?
I love it though. I don't care. Yeah, I don't care. But yeah, we just use the Duchess, which is now called the Jasper. So if you go to BoardGameTables.com, they did a Kickstarter later with what they learned from the Duchess and made the Jasper. So if you want to look for an inexpensive game table with a little bit of customization to get into a board game table like us, I wasn't sure if I want to spend much on it. Look at the Jasper maybe. But Kate's saying no.
No, they're talking about
okay.
S'mores.
Oh, she's saying no about different stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Never mind.
Yeah.
Candyland Legacy needs to be a thing. No, it doesn't. No, don't say things like that. You don't even joke about that, Spencer. Don't you? No, I'm just kidding. Oh my god. Just ordered Jasper, eagerly awaiting it, says Shane.
Oh, nice.
That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah, so we basically just have the older version
Yeah.
of the Jasper.
Yeah.
That's what we use, for those who are curious. All right, I think we're going to wrap it up there. That definitely went longer than I expected. I didn't think we'd have enough to talk about for 2 hours, but I can ramble. I can ramble like nobody else.
Well, I think a lot of people have questions
Yeah,
for you,
that's
right?
cool.
Yeah.
And you.
Yeah. Well, us.
For
Yeah.
us.
Sorry, for us.
us.
Yeah.
You had questions too. Mousetrap, the Pied Piper Legacy version. Not even going to acknowledge that one, Dragon. Not even going to acknowledge it. But thank you, everyone, for your time. Thanks for being here. We're going to do this every month, so look for this to happen in 4-ish weeks from now. We'll schedule another one, and we'll come with anything that's been going on for the next 4 weeks. So if you have any other questions or things that come up, anything off topic from a stream that you just think about as you're watching one of our other videos or something, and you're like, man, I'd love to know this guy's opinion or Mel's opinion on this, or I would love to see them do this type of video on the channel, bring it on to our live stream. We can chat and we can have an open discussion about it. I like this format. I think it's cool.
Yeah.
And I'll get better. I'll put some, once we figure out like kind of a name for the thing, and we'll kind of format it a little bit. So maybe I'll add like titles and scenes, like when we're in the update section or the Q&A section. We'll get to that and that kind of thing. But yeah, thank you everyone for your support. Alan, yes, no, thank you, Alan. Thank you.
Thank you, yes.
Yeah, thank you for our new patrons. Thank you for coming to support the channel and become producers of Rob's Gaming Table.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. I'll get your names in the credits eventually. They won't be in there yet because, as you see, I'm not doing that right now, obviously.
No,
But I'll
that's
get them
okay.
there. Thank you so much, everyone, for your support. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your questions. Thanks for helping drive this. And we'll see you guys in the next stream. On Monday, I'm back with some Hostage Negotiator. Thursday, we got Root. Mel's painting stream in there somewhere. Subscribe to Rob's Gaming Table. Stay tuned to the stream. Hit the notification bell. Turn on your alerts, as we learned, not emails. So you get notified when we go live.
Yeah, I was going to say, hit the like button if you liked it, dislike if you didn't.
Yes, yes, this is true.
Yeah.
We got to say that more. I always forget that stuff.
Yeah, because then we'll know if you actually like this video or not.
All right. Thanks a lot for hanging out, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.